Still got to win, and then they still need an Air Force
Right.
to beat San Jose State. So for the Lobos, you just want to have a good road showing, confidence. If you got to play 4 games, and here's the thing, you just got to win the next one.
Yeah.
It's not about, no team's ever won it playing 4 games from Las Vegas. Like, you just got to get in and play good basketball at this point in time for New Mexico with the roller coaster ride that it's been in conference play. It starts tonight. Can they be the team that we've seen against Colorado State in the past? We've seen on the road, last time against San Jose State, we're like, wow, okay, this team looks really good. What they did against Fresno State. These are the Lobos. And after the Fresno State game, I had a lot of people hitting me up going, the defense still has to get better. They got to defend. This is who they are. That's not changing this year. So for this Lobo basketball team to be successful, their offense has to be clicking at a high level. The offensive efficiency makes up for it defensively. And we'll see tonight if they can continue that in Moby Arena, an atmosphere that can get pretty loud at times. I expect probably a nice bump Friday night, senior night for Colorado State at this point in the season. And you just want to continue to see that backcourt locked in, Mo Udeze inside going to work, and then however it falls for them on Saturday, them to be focused Wednesday, Thursday, whatever, to play the rest basketball.
The senior night thing does concern me a bit. And I know, Jeff, it's another night. It's just not. And I watched Wyoming the other night on senior night, and they have a great player up there in Hunter Maldonado. And I watched him go nuts, and I watched him carry his team to beat Nevada. And a really tough loss for Nevada to take. And I mean, the last place team beat the second place team. And there's not that much of the difference here. Isaiah Stevens is good. And I would say borderline great player in this league. I mean, over the history, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
He's terrific. Last game in Moby for him, emotion. I mean, I just watch it. I'm not telling you I think Colorado State wins the game. I think the Lobos should go up there and win. But I'm concerned that the senior night thing always hits me. And I don't know what every senior night I've watched so far in this league, the home teams won, haven't they? I think so.
Probably a pretty good percentage.
Yeah, it was Boise the other night, and it was New Mexico the other night, and it was Wyoming, and and I'm not telling you it's undefeated, it's invincible. It's a concern to me, and I think it's an extra thing. But we're going to talk Lobos today, and interested in how you feel about that. Where are you now? Final regular season game, and we're going into the tournament next week. 505-246-0610 is how to get to us. 505-246-0610. That is the 377 Brewery hotline. It is also the Sports Animal text line, so you can get in touch with the Sports Animal there. Emails, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. We're going to get into that. Did you catch any of the and I know this is a little bit off the radar, but it was kind of put on the radar last night. There's a dude named Antoine Davis. Have you heard of Antoine Davis?
Detroit Mercy.
Detroit Mercy. Like, whatever, Jeff. Why do we care? This dude went into the game last night against Youngstown State in the Horizon League tournament and had a chance to pass Pete Maravich. I mean, we're going back to the day now for the all-time leading scorer in NCAA Division I basketball. And now, granted, it's a different day. Am I telling you Antoine Davis is as good as Pete Maravich? I'm not even pretending to tell you that. But what I am telling you is, in the record books, the all-time leading scorer in NCAA Division I men's basketball is Pistol Pete back in the day. And this dude played 5 years. Maravich might have even played 3. It might have even been freshman and eligible back in that day. This dude had the three-point line. Pistol Pete didn't. All that doesn't matter because the record books are going to go by total points, right? Dude was down 3 points behind Pistol Pete. Got the ball. His team was down by 3 against Youngstown State. Last possession, and launched a 3 and came up short. He will end his career, unless they get into like the CBI or something, right? He will end his career 3 points short of the all-time scoring mark in the NCAA. It's kind of a crazy story. A fifth-year dude needed 26 going in. He finished with 20, so he's 4 points down. Well, 3 points from tying, 4 points from getting it. He needed 26. He got 22. So he feels good about his career, as he should. And I thought it was crazy. It was an intriguing watch down the stretch, man.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those ones where you say, good job, good effort. But there's a huge asterisk to this one.
Yeah.
Games played, the 3-point line. And whether, it's the same way we were talking about like LeBron passing Kareem and trying to dissect the way they played the game. This one, it's the tip of the cap. But you compare games played, you compare 3-point line, and Pete Maravich's NCAA scoring record, if you are looking around, and I think we've lost kind of the impact of records just in every sport.
Right.
That is one that you would put up there and go, all right, this one is ridiculously meaningful with how he did it when he played and the points per game we're talking about.
Maravich.
Yes, to get to the total points. Yes.
Yeah. And look, I don't think any of us here are of the age that we got to appreciate Pistol Pete. I've seen highlights. I've heard stories. Dudes have told me stories. It sounds like he was unbelievable. I mean, like when I tell you Steph Curry is the best shooter I've ever seen. Well, Jeff, what about Pete? I didn't see him, man. If you're going to tell me he was a better shooter than Steph, maybe he was, man. I don't know how we're going to ever compare that, and we're never going to settle that argument. So all the respect that is due to Pete Maravich back in the day. And I heard he was unbelievable and had unbelievable range and was just different, kind of like Wilt was, right? It was like Maravich and Wilt were just different players back in those days, right? Different than everybody else. Good job, good effort for Antoine Davis. And they're like, 14 and 19 or something? Yeah. And so I don't know. I mean, how do they get in? The only way they get into the CBI is the CBI says, you know what? This is going to put a little bit of eyes on our tournament.
Well, when you're talking about the CBI and stuff,
yeah,
it's also who's willing to pay to play.
Well, that's right. It's $50,000. CBI selects teams from the pool of schools that do not get picked for the NCAA tournament or the NIT. A program with a sub 500 record is still eligible to be selected, but all CBI entrants must pay a $50,000 fee. He said, I wouldn't have a problem with the CBI. I'm sure none of my teammates would. Look, if they put a 14 and 19 Detroit Mercy in and try to sell me on this is a legitimate postseason tournament, stop it, please. I know most of you don't recognize the CBI. And what's the other one? The CIT, right? And there's been times where New Mexico, and I want to say even New Mexico State may have been invited. They've declined. Like we're not paying to play in that. That's, I mean, without saying it's below us, it's below us, and I'm fine with that. I think Fresno State won that thing a while back, right? I know
they won it last year.
Was it last year? Fresno State was in it.
Yeah.
Nevada's made a run in it, right? What Musselman's run started with one of those runs.
You spin it however you want, but there's two that you want NCAA fans will be like, oh, all right, NIT. The rest, it's like, whew.
Yeah, we're paying to play in this stuff, and it's postseason. But I'll tell you what, I mean, the school social medias go crazy over it. Oh, we're making a run. We're in the Final Four of the CBI. Well, yeah, dude, they were like 16 to start. And I don't know. I wouldn't put it past, and I don't know anything about the CBI or who runs it. Do you?
I don't.
But would you put it past them to say, hey, we're going to put the guy.
Not if Detroit Mercy puts up the money.
Well, if they put up the money
and they have that guy in there.
And you can say, look, we're going to watch the NCAA all-time scoring record be broken in our tournament. Mm-hmm. I mean, why else would you be watching Detroit Mercy play Siena in the CBI? Or any other time for that matter, unless it was in Dayton. Then you'd say, oh, I got to watch Detroit Mercy play Siena because it's in Dayton. Mm-hmm. All right, so that's what happened last night. Went out to the Aggie function last night. I thought they had a nice turnout out at the Nativo Lodge. Jerry Kill was there. Jerry Kill was on fire last night. Jerry Amory, this was the Jerry Kill that you love so much. He was in full coach mode and pep talking that crowd.
Did you see the tattoo?
He absolutely showed the tattoo. That was he says, I'll take about 5 questions. The first one was, let's see the tattoo.
That's really
He
funny.
says, I'm not ready. I'll make that the last one. So we could do that, and that'll be the last one. That'll be the first one. He's all right. And he rolled up his sleeve, and because he started out by saying, last thing, Mario gave me the first lifetime contract ever. And he said, because I can't go anywhere else, he rolled up his sleeve.
Very funny.
Yeah, no, he was good. He got that crowd going. He talked about a lot of the stuff he told us the other day, but certainly in a pep rally, coach speak, he talked about how they've got 8 principles and they put it up every day, and it had nothing to do about winning, and a lot of the stuff that he talked to us about life and accountability and don't give up, and all of those things that this team showed him. They had a nice crowd. Mario spoke. He addressed on the edges, the overall thing. He talked about how there's a lot of, there's been negative stuff going on down there. And he said, as an alum, it bothers me and I am going to fix it. But don't lose sight of all the good things that are going on at New Mexico State. And that was kind of the message. I'll tell you, it was a good field. They brought the trophy from the Quick Lane Bowl. People got to take pictures with Coach Kill and Mario and with the trophy. And Diego Pavia was there, and he spoke briefly. And it was. Were you at the one last year?
I was at
a couple of years ago. I mean, bigger crowd than they normally like they had gotten in the past.
I was in it last year.
Was it last year?
Well,
at Nativo Lodge.
I was not at the one last year.
Okay, all right. Yeah, it was a nice vibe.
Years.
All right, nice vibe for them. Really good. I'm glad I went out there. So I have some good people, some people I hadn't seen in a while.
Surprised they let you in.
You'd have been surprised at some of the people who might have been there wearing New Mexico State stuff. I wasn't wearing any Aggie stuff, but you'd be surprised if maybe some of the people who are. Yeah, no, it was good. I was glad I was there. It was good to see it. But the guy who called our last caller yesterday said, "Hey, I was your last caller yesterday." A lot of people listen to the show, so appreciate that. It was a good time. All right, when we return, there's a lot of NFL stuff that we've got to get through today. Specifically, one receiver calls out his employer. How would it work for you if you went on the social media and flat out called out your employer? Probably not so well. This all goes down to the report cards and why can't we get a player? Look, when an employer calls out a player, this is how I'll phrase it for you. When an employer calls out an employee, does the employee have the right to clap back? That's what happened in the NFL. What should happen, what will happen, I'll tell you next. The opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Makes a little sports analysis pop.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say, people mean more.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future and get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about. We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
So some of you are more active on social media than others, right? Some of you are, and do your thing. I never will tell you how to do it. It's never really kind of been my thing, but I know like it's your thing, right? So do your thing. Term Edwards, who famously said, or maybe he screamed, "Don't push send." Right, when he was standing in front of the athletes and don't push send. All right. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, A. Glad you're with us on a Friday morning. Freedom of speech is freedom of speech. You will not get persecuted. You will not get arrested. You will not get prosecuted for what you say and what you believe. That does not mean you are free of consequences, that you are free of repercussions, that you are free of feedback, that you do not have to be held accountable for what you said. What about freedom of speech, Jeff? You're not, nobody's arresting your ass, right? You're not getting thrown in jail like Alec Murdaugh. Oh, sorry. When you tweet about your boss, let me ask you this, because this is touchy, and we're talking about the Baltimore Ravens. Okay, the Baltimore Ravens, as you know, have gone through a lot of receivers, and one of the biggest talking points when we talk about Lamar Jackson is what? Well, he doesn't have weapons, right? Oh, if he had those weapons, if he had the right wide receivers. Yes. Okay. There, I heard on this here radio station on the way in this morning that over the last 20-something years, pretty long time actually, the Ravens are the only team in the NFL who have not drafted a receiver who made the Pro Bowl. Kind of a random stat, right? But kind of right, but
everyone makes the Pro Bowl. How is that possible?
Right, that's what I thought. I thought Hollywood Brown would have made the Pro Bowl at some point, but they've not drafted a receiver who made the Pro Bowl. So the general manager of the Baltimore Ravens was asked yesterday at the Combine, what's the deal? Why is it you can't find – his name's Eric DeCosta. Why can't you find a wide receiver? What's the issue? And he says, I don't know. I mean, if I knew, we'd have better receivers. And we're trying, and we keep trying, and basically ripping on the receivers they got, right? Yeah. If you're Rashad Bateman, how would you take that? If basically outside of closed doors, if you saw social media posts from our bosses who said, I don't know, I mean, I just got to find better talk show hosts. We're trying, and hopefully we'll get better. How would you feel?
It's going to hit you.
Right? Right? And I know Rashad Bateman's getting clapped at, and you can't tweet about your boss. Rashad Bateman was a first-round pick by the Ravens in 2021. And he's hearing it all. He's hearing why he's the reason that Lamar isn't good. And he's one of those guys that his general manager, Eric DeCosta, just talked about. Well, we're trying. They're not good, but I mean, we keep trying. And we're going to keep going at it. So Bateman, in a since-deleted tweet, tweeted this, quote, how about you play to your players' strength and stop pointing the finger at us? And number 8 is Lamar Jackson. Blame the one you let do this. We take heat 24/7. And keep us healthy. Care about us and see what happened. Ain't no promises, though. Tired of y'all lying and capping on players for no reason. End quote. He deleted it. Sent out another tweet with apologies and 2 people hugging emoji. All right.
No hugging now.
No, I don't know how the hugging's going. Hollywood Brown, who I mentioned, who's now with the Cardinals, who's a first-round pick, he also tweeted that this ain't his employer anymore. Tweeted after replied to Bateman's tweet, let him cook. How do you feel about Bateman clapping back? I understand all the heat on him, but how would you feel?
I would, if I'm Bateman, I'm frustrated, but you got to look at this as material for you because you were not on the field a lot last year, man. Mm-hmm. So you don't have a lot of room to talk. Like, you were not making plays. You were off the field hurt. Now, he was also insinuating in that tweet that the Ravens did not help him get back on the field, did not put him in a good position. And we are starting to see a franchise that was locked in, that was airtight. They're always going to be tough. They had an identity. There are a whole lot of leaks and cracks in that foundation. And this is why we're sitting here with giant question marks surrounding the Baltimore Ravens.
Hey, Marie, how you feeling about what Rashad Bateman can he clap back, or should it be?
He can clap back, but he shouldn't. Just stop. It's not helping the situation. And I just don't I think you can use social media as a platform for good, and I just think that's drama.
It's total drama.
And it's unnecessary.
And I'm not gonna kill him for it.
That's not like sticking up for Lamar or anything either. That's just
he's sticking up for him.
And him, yeah. And it's just like, okay, cool.
All right.
Sorry, bro.
So I'm gonna take a little different angle on it. And while I agree it's unnecessary and it's drama, I don't know, man. Does Eric DeCosta need to say that in public too? I mean, isn't Eric DeCosta, his general manager, throwing him under the bus?
Was not. There was no sports speak in that. We've taken some chances on wide receivers. We hope the ones we have continue to grow. We're excited about our recent selections. We just got to keep putting work in there. There was none of that. It was like, I've picked the receivers. They have not done their part of the job.
Kind of my point. Yeah. I know Rashad Bateman's getting all the heat here. And should he have done it? Would I advise him to do it? No, I wouldn't. But I'm not going to kill this guy who's on that roster who was hurt. And by the way, it goes back to this. So let me wrap this whole story up for you. And I know you've probably seen the NFLPA's survey on the report card. And the Ravens were at the very bottom of this. And the biggest issue they have was their strength coaches. The Ravens voted their strength coaches as the worst in the NFL. The survey said this, quote, 30 of the 32 teams in the NFL gave their strength coaches fairly positive reviews. Baltimore was one of the 2 teams that fell well below the rest. and were even given significantly lower scores, below the second worst team. They were the worst. Players don't feel like the strength staff helps them be more successful. The team recently parted ways with their head strength coach. So we'll see what happens. So basically what they're saying is, man, you guys put us in situations. The reason we're all getting hurt, me, Lamar, our running backs, is because of what y'all are doing, the situation y'all are putting us in, care about us, and will perform. Look, it did nobody any good for Rashad Bateman to go out and do that.
Dude, this is the NFL Yelp.
Well, it's totally that. 100%.
Like,
no,
whoa.
It's 100%. But I'm just going to tell you, man. DeCosta could have come out and said, you know what, we've had some good receivers, and we're looking to get better, and we've drafted in our receivers. You know, they're young and they're getting like. He didn't have to throw them all under the bus. Just say, well, like you just said, no, I tried, man. It's on them. They didn't perform. They didn't grow. Man, if I'm Rashad Bateman, I'm tired of hearing it too. Now, is this the greatest way to clap back? Probably not. I'm not sure what else he thought he had. He probably was sitting there in the moment and said, screw it, and thumbed it out and pushed send. Don't push send! And so I'm not condoning, but I'm not going to kill the guy for defending himself. And I know he deleted it and he apologized and somebody got at him. But I don't know, man. Like if your boss clapped at you on and ripped you on social media, would you respond? Would you defend yourself?
Well, that's the one area, you know, when it comes to athletes, kind of have that leverage too, to be able to do that.
Well, get another job. Yeah, and if you're good at what you do, you'll get another job too. If they fire you, but I would contend. I'm just defending myself, man. I don't know. That's where I am. I wonder where you all are.
I would. Just everyone from Harbaugh to everyone else would be like, really, guys? Like, we don't need this right now.
Yeah, but you got it now.
Like, we're already dealing with the Lamar Jackson back and forth, and we're finding out that this is definitely one where everyone that plays with Lamar Jackson is on his side, whereas everyone else is not. And so you have that back and forth, that divide going on, that narrative in the media. And you look at the Ravens, they got an A for the locker room. So you know those players, they're tight. They got each other's backs. And the last thing you need is for this offseason just to be about the front office versus the players constantly now. Now, it's not just Lamar Jackson. It's now we're taking shots at.
Well, it is, though.
And then it's like,
yeah.
But you're here now.
And you're here now. And I don't know who ties this together. Is it on Jim Harbaugh? Or I'm sorry, John Harbaugh or whoever, but it's something. I'm curious where you all are on this. It's easy to bounce on Rashad Bateman and beat the hell out of him, and I'm not telling you he's right. I'm telling you I kind of understand where it is he's coming from.
It's what are your plans tonight for Friday? I've been telling you need to go to 377 Brewery, and I'm going to tell you why you should go tonight. There's a special pop-up shop. What is a pop-up shop? Well, within the brewery, they're going to have fashion designer Bobby Joe in the house. She makes clothes for all ages, all from kids to adults. She has really cool swag, and she's going to have a pop-up shop today. She's from Albuquerque. It's going to be at 4 p.m. at 377 Brewery. 4 p.m. till she sells out. 377 Brewery is located on the northwest corner of Yale and Gibson, and they just keep on having better and better events weekly. So come out tonight, happy hour, come have some drinks, some food, and come shopping. Treat yourself. It's Friday. Come out, once again, 377 Brewery on the northwest corner of Yale and Gibson, or check them out at 377brewery.com.
Nelson, he's got 3 fouls, so he doesn't really want to be getting the ball.
The dagger. That's
Gomez!
Inside.
Hostile gives it up. Shot is up. Oh!
Ball goes inside to Duke, guarded by Trujillo. Eli with the tip and the finish. Schermerhorn on the drive. Yes, strong fit.
She's gonna got numbers. Gonna
1
make it.
second. She slips it in just a. Still some time. Montoya, plenty of room. Yes. Wide open long ball for Jason Montoya. Third. One against the screen. Ball fake, but rejected. Oh, rejects it. Quickly, or if they hold for the final. Wyckoff, yes, count the basket. A chance at a three-point play for Wyckoff, and a free throw is coming up.
Catch and shoot.
D. Hill, give it to the hot hand. Why not?
We're happy for the boys, and oh boy. I guess they knew about it.
One more.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say, people mean more.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info,
KKOB, 9 o'clock tip time, boys and girls. 9 o'clock, 8:30 pregame. Robert Portnoy, Hunter Green, live from Albertsons Radio Row at Moby Arena. How's Moby Arena? They used to call it Moby Gym back in the day.
It's fun.
Is it more of a gym or more of an arena? That's one I've not been in that one.
It's got more of an arena feel. It's gym-like, but its amenities are solid, so it kind of elevates it over gym.
You're right. I had this conversation with my daughter the
It's
other
not
day.
a full-fledged arena.
Yeah, it's like an upgraded gym.
Yeah.
All right.
Takes it out of that category. But I like it's solid, clean arena, clean campus. It's definitely
it's beautiful
If
campus.
I put out my Mountain West report card,
Yep.
Fort Collins Moby's pretty high on the list.
As one of the favorite trips, but as far as
Yes.
yeah, I understand that.
Well, and then
Is San Diego at the top?
working area.
Yeah. What's your favorite mountain? Now that you've been to all the Mountain West cities to call women's basketball, what's your favorite Mountain West city to go to?
If you can get to the beach, if you have the time,
It's America's finest city.
San Diego State.
Yeah.
But sometimes you don't always get
You don't have the means to get to the water. Well, I mean,
or to pay for the Uber. Right? What?
Wait, how much was that Uber? I just want to go. I just want to go to the sand. All right. We were having this conversation. It was such a random one because what's an arena? What's a gym? It reminded me. We're driving down. She's like, Dad, Addie, how do they name streets? What's a boulevard? And how do they decide if it's a street or if it's a boulevard or if it's a road? And so she started Googling all this stuff. And there really are definitions. Like, well, that's not right. Like what? Like a road doesn't have a median. I'm like, well, there's Candelaria Road and there's a median. Well, yeah, I had no idea.
But the gym versus arena one, is evident. Like right when you walk in, you know if you're in a gym or you're in.
So there's only like one gym in this league, right? Two. San Jose State would be a gym.
San Jose State's a gym.
Clune Arena a gym. No, they got hockey in there, right?
It's side by side with the hockey rink.
Oh, it's side by side. So is
Yeah.
Clune a gym or an arena?
It has more of an arena feel.
All right. So is there only one gym in this league? San Jose State. All right. There's a big difference. All right. You're not a gym league and a bus league. All right, you're sending emails and you're sending texts. 505-246-0610. That's the text line.
The Mountain West, not a gym league.
Not a gym
above the rest.
All right, looks like you're telling me on the text line, looks like old Mario found yet another fall guy yesterday. Weren't the Aggies just having parades down Main Street in Las Cruces for beating Dixie State to make the NCAA baseball tournament last year? Yeah, they were having a pretty good party about that. They did let go of their baseball coach yesterday at New Mexico State. Mike Kirby was relieved of his duties. Kevin Zuniga will take over the rest of the way. Aggies, who did go to the NCAA tournament last year, 5th time in their history, are 0-7 to start baseball. As good of a start as the Lobos are off, Aggies are off to a worse. Like we're degree of good to degree of bad. Does that make sense? They're 0-7, and they've lost. They got swept at home by Bellarmine, 7-2, 8-1, and 10-9. Went down to the Sugarland Classic in Texas and got beat by Lamar, Northwestern State, and Seton Hall. And then came home and lost to Benedictine Mesa on Tuesday. And Mario had seen enough. They open no, they don't open league play until next week. They host Pacific for out of the West Coast Conference for 3 games. And so they've made a change down there. Boy, there are all kinds of rumors running around that place yesterday too, huh? Oh, about who's going to be the coach. And, oh, is that guy here? Is he going to be the coach? We'll see what happens. I don't think that's going to happen. But, yeah, so they made a change down there. You hit me on a couple of other things, and you're right. We're talking about senior nights in the Mountain West Conference. I said, I think everybody's won. You said, I believe UNLV lost on senior night. You are correct. In fact, they got pounded. I don't know if they had any seniors. But Utah State went in and beat the living tar out of them. We're talking about the young man from Detroit Mercy, Antoine Davis, who fell 3 points shy of Pistol Pete Maravich's NCAA Division I men's all-time scoring mark last night. Missed a 3 at the end of the game. And they're playing the same game, but they're not playing the same game. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
They're playing Division I men's basketball. The Pistol Pete played 3 years and didn't have a 3-point line, and Antoine Davis played 5 and obviously did. But it would be the record. And I think, you know what, this worked out the way it was supposed to. Dude got right there. He had a great career, but it's still Pistol Pete's record. Does that feel right to you? I'm not rooting for anybody.
It does. When you started hearing about this story over the last week.
Yeah. Text line says Pete's average was 44 points per game. Pete was Magic before Magic. Heard that. I've heard a lot of people tell me that over the time. Yeah, it's something different, man. Pistol Pete was different. But yeah, that's how that goes down. Now the Detroit Mercy team is 14-19, so you would assume there is no postseason opportunity for Detroit Mercy. However, if they are willing to pay, and they said they're willing to find $50,000, I don't know how does it, like when all these other schools say, yeah, we can't do it. How do they find $50,000 and just say, yeah, we're going to go get this guy the record? I guess it's probably worth it to them to have their guy at the top of the record book. That means something, right, for their program?
Yeah, I think you convince the school his dad's the head coach, so you can just ask him to pay it.
Mike Davis is the head coach, yeah. Yeah, I guess it's exactly.
We'll just take this out of your salary for next year.
Yeah, his dad was the head coach in Indiana for a while. So, all right. Text line also says, good player just on bad teams, Atlanta Hawks and New Orleans Jazz. He's talking about Pete Maravich. His last year in Boston, he always beat Larry Bird in shooting at practice. Is that right? Didn't know that. I've heard legendary stories about Pete Maravich, but all right, that's where that is. Text line or email, Jack says, restless 36 hours. Jeff, I don't think nervous Lobo fans are going to get much sleep. It almost feels like the Mountain West Conference tournament begins at 9 tonight in Moby Gym. There's a sense to that. If you lose tonight, well, you can sleep because whatever happens the next day in Clune Arena doesn't matter. If you lose tonight, you are locked into the 6th slot. You will play Wyoming in the 6-11 game. I believe it to be at 4 in the afternoon, their time, 5 here on Wednesday of next week. So it's just not going to matter what happens. But if you win, then you can sit around, you can worry about it. All right. So how much hoop did you watch last night? Did you catch any of the NBA? Did you catch Luka and Kyrie show last night?
Philadelphia. Like, what are we doing? There's one thing Dallas can do. It's watch Luka and Kyrie take shots. That's it. It's not innovative basketball. It's not while these guys are playing together. They're just taking turns scoring on you, and you let them blow you out the build.
So 133-126 was the final. The Mavericks win, just the second win with Luka and Kyrie Irving as teammates. So they scored 133 points between those two, Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. They scored 82. Luka had 42 points. Kyrie had 40. Both of them took 22 shots. Luka 13 for 22. Kyrie 15 for 22. I look at the rest of that roster. I watched a little of that. Watched the back end of that after I got back. I don't know if there's enough there for them to make a run. Are they deep enough? They gave up a whole lot to get Kyrie Irving. I don't know if they're good enough defensively. I don't know if they're good defensively at all.
They're terrible.
Periodly. I don't know that when it tightens up and games come down to the 1-teens as opposed to the 130s, they're splashy. They're attractive. They're sexy. They've got those two guys that you're going to want to see. Are they good enough beyond those two to? And I don't even know if they're good enough with those two to win it all.
No, they're not. Like they're going to have games where they win because of how hot they get offensively.
No,
because Luka and Kyrie, when they're on, they have nights like that. But over the 7 games, multiple rounds, they're not good enough to win the conference, let alone NBA Finals.
Yeah, I think that's right. And look, they'll be fun to watch. They may win a series. They may win 2 series. But I think that's right. There's just not enough. All right, when we come back, Alvin Kamara put in a plea. Remember, Alvin Kamara had that assault charge at the Pro Bowl when there was a Pro Bowl now over a year ago. What did he plea? And rats, like the rodents were among the biggest complaints in the NFLPA player survey. And I think the team where the rats were might surprise you. Why the hell are those there? We'll do that when we return. Hey, do you know 90% of all the information to your brain comes through your eyes? It's true. So what if your eyes don't work so well? Especially at high altitude and here in Albuquerque, contact lenses don't work as well. Dr. Stephen Coleman over at Coleman Vision specializes in treating astigmatism with LASIK. He's been doing it since 1998. I had a high degree of astigmatism. That's why I went to see him back in 2003 and had my LASIK done. It changed my life. Honestly, there's not a lot of things you do that you say change your life. And 20 years later, I can still honestly tell you it's changed my life. The technology he uses is cutting edge. He's played a significant role in developing and testing this current technology. He uses it, and it's used around the world. It was developed at Sandia Labs here in New Mexico. And so for years, patients come from all over the country to have their LASIK done at Coleman Vision because they know Dr. Coleman's reputation that he's the best. He's been in private practice, specializing in LASIK his entire career. And you'll walk in on any given day and see people like you and me. I mean, whether it's doctors or firefighters or police officers or athletes or nurses or healthcare workers, whatever. People who are just tired of dealing with glasses and contacts and want to see well. I tell the story. I went in after reading, I did the news on Channel 13, went in 1 in the afternoon, had the surgery. I closed my eyes for like 30 minutes, opened up, and it was like, wow, I can see. It literally was that dramatic. See if you're a candidate. This is one of the best things, honestly, that I've ever done for me. And I'm so glad it was done by Stephen Coleman. Go to ColemanVision.com. Learn about them. You'll learn about what they're all about, and then make an appointment to go to their beautiful facility. 505-821-8880. It's area code 505-821-8880.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say, people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky.
You know, this NCAA basketball scoring mark is going to get a lot of people going. And if you're just learning the story, there's a young man named Antoine Davis, really nice player at Detroit Mercy. Really nice player. And last night he fell 3 points short in what should be Detroit Mercy's final game of the year, but may not be, of the all-time scoring mark in the NCAA Division I men's basketball. The record is held by Pistol Pete Maravich. Detroit Mercy season ends. They're 14-19, and I said, watch the CBI, a irrelevant tournament that's looking for relevancy. We'll probably invite Detroit Mercy, and Antoine's dad, Mike, is the coach, and so they'll pay the $50,000, and this young man will go and become the all-time scoring leader, which you're like, whatever, Jeff, who cares? Well, so let me tell you, and I'm going to read you, this is a text from Eddie. He says, it's bogus. This kid had 5 years to beat Pistol Pete's record, and the CBI will take his team that has not earned a postseason. Notable, and this is everything I've been telling you, notable that Maravich's record was before the shot clock, before the three-point line, and he did it in 3 years. So to me, the record is unreal and will always be the record regardless, 100%. And this is one of those that I think people are going to really, really take personally, JJ, that especially people of that era, LSU people certainly, that we're talking apples and grapes, right? We're talking Pistol Pete averaged 44 a game, put up this sickening mark back in a day before the shot clock, before the three-point line, and did it in 3 years because freshmen weren't eligible. And again, Antoine Davis has done nothing wrong. Like, he's had a tremendous career, but it's just not the same. And for the CBI, if they do this, and I hope they don't, but I bet they will, it's just to become relevant, invite a 14-19 team to the postseason because they're willing to pay the $50,000 so you can say, hey, watch us on whatever our damn stream is and watch the all-time NCAA scoring record be broken, I think cheapens the mark. And cheapens it for the young man. If he'd have got it the other night, we could have this conversation, or last night, we could have this conversation. I think it played out the way it was supposed to. Great career. Oh, just short, and Maravich's record is still the real mark, right? But we're playing different games, different ways, different times. Am I old man get off my lawn, or is because I don't feel like in this case, back in my day they didn't have a shot. Okay, it's different, man. And then just to invite that team so we can get the mark, I think is wrong.
I'm with you. You look at trying to go through the last year's CBI field just to even see what some of the records of these teams were.
Yeah.
On that,
Fresno State won it last year.
No, not the CBI.
Oh, was it the CIT?
UNC Wilmington.
Oh yeah, of course.
The
Sea Wolves or whatever. Yeah, whatever. But they usually have right around 15-15 records, right? 16-15. 14-19 should not be a postseason team, with all due respect, unless you win your conference tournament. All right, I told you about the NFLPA stuff and the problems, and it's funny, like, there's stories just here. These are the problems everybody has. I would have thought, I'm not even sure what I thought I was going to hear, but a rat infestation in the locker room is not one of them. I would have thought, and if I'd have thought rats in the locker room, I'd have thought inner city, wouldn't you? Who's got an inner city stadium? Right, who's got an older stadium? Well, nobody's got an older stadium anymore. They're all brand new, Jeff. All right, well, I don't even know what the oldest stadiums in the NFL are anymore. When you think about them, everybody's got a new stadium, right? I mean, if you give me, like, the Meadowlands would be one of the older, right? I don't even know what I think new stadiums.
People think, I think I've heard Cincinnati.
They're relative. I mean, within the last
They're
15
new.
years.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's Jacksonville.
Whoa.
And like you got a lot of problems with Jacksonville, but rats, like they have a rat problem. According to the survey, rats were the number one complaints for players in Jacksonville. They were asked, what was the number one thing that changed, that you want changed at your facility? It was unanimous. Get rid of the rats. Wow. Players reported that for 3 to 4 weeks during last season, there was a rat infestation in the locker room and the laundry hampers. All right, well, it sounds like they got rid of them. If it was for 3 or 4 weeks, like I imagine that can happen anywhere. I don't know. Do you have a rodent problem or a pest problem at your house? Like right about this time of year, do you start seeing ants? That's
probably why they didn't ultimately come in last place overall in the survey. They're like, it was an issue, but
so That
what
was
it sounds like, right?
That's well, if the answer was get rid of the rats, but then it says, well, it was for like 3 or 4 weeks. Okay, well, it sounds like they got rid of them. Like, that sucks. Don't get me wrong. It's not cool to have rats running around and you pick up your drawers or something and there's like, no, that's nasty. But if I'd have said to you, like, where do you think the rat infestation is? Wouldn't that have been like your last place?
Probably wouldn't have been my first.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been my first either. I don't
know where I would have gone.
I don't know.
I'd have gone older. Oh, Soldier Field's an older facility, right? Soldier Field and Lambeau are the two old facilities. So I probably would have thought that, that would have been my spots. What are the older facilities?
Chicago's more, Soldier Field's more in the city too.
Right. Yeah, just off the city. And that's what I would have thought. That's nasty, though, isn't it?
Yes.
Did you find the answer on the CBA thing? Maybe. I want to go through more of this survey. What is wrong with the NFL? See, that's what gets the clicks. I'm looking through the story. Not what's good. Not what are the players like. Here's what they hate. They're cheap skates and their plumbing stinks. And I hate everything about. Oh, okay. Well, I'll read you the complaints because you like complaints. Getting a little bit of basketball tonight. Big one up in Fort Collins as well. But when we come back, who are the cheapskates in the National Football League? Well, it's a team that doesn't win a lot. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your coverage from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at U.S. Eagle.
Chase,
You very rarely get to run in a straight line on a football field. There's angles involved. There's other players involved.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe
It's awesome if you're a dude that goes, I just ran a 4.3.
can I
And
give
what?
you a more useless stat?
All right, put a helmet on and see how fast
I'll
you
give you a more useless stat. Don't they do long jump? How far you can broad jump, like standing long jump? I think that's more useless. But yeah,
No, it's a 40.
you think it's a 40?
I like because to me,
Yeah.
it shows explosiveness.
All right. I mean, I want to know if the guy's really like legit fast. How fast he is compared to that guy.
But on the film,
Yeah. I mean, I value the film more
be
than I
quote
value.
unquote slow,
Yep.
but play fast on the football field.
Yeah, I would value the dash number more than I would the long jump. But okay. That's why they do them all.
I know a lot of it is just kind of like, what are we doing this for?
Yeah, that's why they do them all. Alvin Kamara, I told you about this earlier. The I almost said former, but he's not former. The New Orleans Saints running back Alvin Kamara. Remember this incident? This was when they had a Pro Bowl. So over a year ago, he was in Vegas and he was rolling with some guys, and they got out of an elevator, and allegedly there was a guy there and looked at the lady that they were with. They beat the crap out of this guy, like pummeled him. So it was Kamara and three other guys. Bengals cornerback Chris Lemons, and then these two other co-defendants, Darren Young and Percy Harris, were with them. They were in court in Vegas yesterday facing charges that they beat a man unconscious at a Las Vegas strip club before the Pro Bowl. They all pleaded not guilty. They could face trial if it gets that far, July 31st. That's according to the schedule that was set by the judge yesterday. So they're each charged with a felony and a misdemeanor for allegedly punching, kicking, and stomping this guy named Darnell Green. It was an altercation outside the elevator, right? Remember this one? Quote from Kamara, not guilty, Your Honor. End quote. That's it. Could result in 1 to 5 years in state prison. We'll see. I mean, I doubt he'll do any time. Do you feel like this is one that gets settled? I mean, everybody says, well, the guy's just looking for money. I don't know.
No, the
Got
guy got
living
beat up.
tar beat out of him. Yeah.
And Kamara is going to miss some games, probably not go to jail.
So you think that's what happens? So there's a fine there, and then he gets fined and loses some salary. According to the victim's attorney, Mr. Green was only trying to get on an elevator and was beaten almost to death. That's what he said. So that's what you get there. So there's some NFL news for you. Oh, well, let me give you more. You want more? All right, NFL survey. You know, I didn't jump on this. With this NFL report, do they do this every year, the NFL report card, or is this? Because I don't recall this. And so when I saw it come out, I didn't jump on it. I just thought it was some media-generated thing, and then I realized, all right, it's by the players. And so you put a little more credence into it. And then it's funny just watching the stories pick through it. And I told you before we went to break, the team that's considered a cheapskate. And it makes sense because their owner had always, that was the reputation dating all the way back to the previous city in which they played. And it was the Arizona Cardinals, right? It says like every other team, the Cardinals will let you take home food from practice. But unlike other teams, they charge their players to take home food. If players would like dinner, it'll be boxed up for them, but players reported that the team will charge you via payroll deduction. Evidently, that's the only club that does that. Also, that they're charged for every meal they eat at the facility during the off season. Their quality of food ranked dead last, so bad food doesn't sound like a smart way. So, I mean, why don't you stop on the way home and get something to eat? So, all right, what do you?
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, I got thoughts. What do you think?
I think you just assume that all that stuff would be covered as an NFL player, but
so I don't.
Franchises are like, well, have you checked your salary?
I would
You
assume
can buy lunch.
I would assume while I'm there, like when I'm supposed to be there, and not when I'm there just for like voluntary workouts, but when I'm there for team-related activities, I would assume when they feed me that's covered. But I wouldn't assume that I get to just use them as a takeout. Is that fair to just assume? I don't know. Is that super cheap? Is it? Should I assume that they're supposed to feed me? Oh, and I can take some home for my kids? I don't know, man. These guys are making millions. Who's the cheapskate here? Is it the players or is it the team? No, honestly. Who's the cheapskate here?
Who's the cheapskate?
I got guys making millions, and that they're complaining that they can't take free food home. Is that part of your deal as a football player? I get to take my meals home too. And by the way, the meals are crap. It's the worst food in the NFL, but I can't take it home with me. You're going to charge me? I don't know, man. Is that something that you should expect as an NFL player? To your point, if I'm there and it's practice, yeah, I expect you to feed me. But after practice, I can eat, and I should be able to take food home. I don't know, man. This ain't college. Who's the cheapskate here? All right, the Commanders evidently hate everything. Everything about playing there. So they finished dead last in the survey. They have no faith in their owner. They have no faith that he's going to upgrade the facility. They think the training room is understaffed, that they're forced to have a roommate at team hotels the night before the game. Everybody else has their own room. They don't fly their players in first class. How can everybody fly first class if you're flying commercial? There's only so many first class seats on a plane, right?
Like, you shouldn't be flying commercial.
Well, I don't even know what that means then. They're all flying charter to games. I guess when you fly them in, you don't fly in first class? Like, I don't know. There's only so many first class seats on a plane.
Yeah.
So if y'all are on the same plane.
You got your own plane at least.
I think so.
At least it's a designated plane. I don't think I've really seen anybody boarding a Southwest flight.
Their way to an NFL game?
The Commanders. I'm like, oh, you guys got B group? How did that happen?
Yeah, you got the nose tackle C17. You're like, oh, dude, don't look at him. Don't look at him. C A equals aisle.
Early bird check in. Oh,
yeah, A equals aisle, B equals back, and C equals center. Man, that's how that game works.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, man. Blown enough of those.
And those seats are getting smaller.
I'm not lying, dude.
Like, okay, obviously I'm a big person. Like, I'm a little over 6 foot, and like those seats get smaller. Like the exit rows, even.
Biggest
Jeez.
dude on the plane sat next to me on the way back last time.
These football players.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Biggest dude and piled in and stunk. Like, you know the jacket smell?
Oh yeah.
And there's nowhere to go. Like, I literally was wedged up
Smaller,
against.
more expensive.
And dude, I had nowhere to go.
So you an aisle person if you can.
So it's interesting. Are you an aisle guy?
No, I go right for the window seat, not because I want to look out the window, just because I want to lean myself into the corner and fall asleep.
That's me. Okay, so are you an aisle guy or are you a window? You have a choice. You get on plane.
Oh, I get a choice.
Yeah, you get a choice.
Window.
All right. Because
I'm too tall. I'm too tall.
I just like to wedge myself in that corner and fall asleep.
See, that's my thing. I like to use the. I bring that little inflatable pillow, right? The neck pillow.
Yeah.
And I
inflatable neck pillow.
Oh yeah.
That's cool. So you're just like.
No, it's really cool. I actually saw one of my friends. I was like, why have I never owned one of those?
Yeah, because you can you go super big or
sense for travel.
light.
I need one of those.
And then you can
can help demonstrate when
Wait,
they're doing
you're an
the life
aisle
vest
guy?
Too.
No, I'm a window guy because I go inflatable
is
pillow
an aisle person?
and I kind of lean up against. Well, the person with a bad bladder is an aisle guy.
And then I also
or not a bad bladder, just
I
a
hate
smaller one.
interrupting people.
Yeah, right. So if you've been at the bar and you know you're going to have to go get rid of some used beverages at some point, that guy, or you can use the leg room in the aisle, right? You can put your legs in the aisle, and utilize that, especially if you have a big bag under your seat. But no, I'm on the window like you, dude, and then I put the pillow and I don't want to sleep, and then the biggest dude on the plane, literally, I mean, freaking both flights, gigantic, and then that smell off the jacket, and then they brought their oniony food.
Oh no!
To eat on the plane.
I think that should be like airplane etiquette too. Is like
before you get on the plane,
or you can bring food just like to work. You don't bring like the salmon.
Well, it's whatever they found at.
Sometimes you don't have a lot of time.
That's true.
I understand.
Yeah, no, I get it. I
That's really funny though. But yeah, the NFL players, I don't know how they fit in those seats.
And here comes the nose tackle, 6'8", 340, and he's got C17, and it's like, oh, man. Is that seat taken?
I mean, first world problems, but
Daniel Snyder.
Is that seat taken? Okay, can I sit there? Hell no. It's like, what? I know. All right. They're not. Oh, the other issue with
They go Southwest for the free Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's right.
Last complaint actually.
And
Why
not
does
every plane
everyone
has it.
rush
No.
to get on the plane but not to get off the plane?
Dude, people are pretty slow.
Like,
getting on
what
the
is that?
So
Sorry, that's my last. I know. Sorry.
No, let me.
These are weird this is a weird segue.
I'll give you one more.
Airplane peanut.
I'll give you one more.
It's Friday. I mean, come on.
So, I'm boarding in the A group. Burbank Airport
I used to live there.
allows you to board the plane through the front and rear door.
Oh,
so
yeah.
people run to the back, and I went to. I guess I forgot this, and I'm lined up in that big long line. You got to walk up the ramp, right? You go out on the tarmac and go walk up. They don't have one of those jetways, and I'm like, whoa! All those people are going in the back, and I'm like, I'm A23, like, but they're gonna take all the good seats. And that one, I didn't know. I still don't know what I think my strategy should be next time at Burbank when they let you go through the back.
Yeah, that's it. Completely different.
Yeah, I don't know my strategy on that one.
Got to think through.
Yeah, and you got to see how the line's flowing because the pre-boarders, by the way, that number has increased incredibly of late. Oh, there's like 40 pre-boarders. Then you get on your like A17 and you're like, I'm in row 8 in the middle. All right, are you flying anywhere? I know, first world problems.
A lot of people getting ready to go to Las Vegas.
Yes, you are. I'll be on your flight one day next week. Also, the Commanders are noted there's no warm water and poor drainage in the showers. Come on, man. Come on, man. I mean, get a damn plumber in there and fix it. And, I mean, seriously, is it going to cost you? Fix the hot water.
Their owner doesn't care.
He doesn't care. He flat out.
He's taking out loans for himself.
Yeah, flat out does not care. All right, when we return, big games for bubble teams in the NCAA last night. West Coast teams, as the Lobos go up to Colorado tonight and play a big one, let you know what it meant for some of the West Coast Pac-12 bubble teams that you're watching last night. On the opening drive, Jeff, JJ, A. Marie on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Evergard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info,
Woo!
That was ho.
Woo!
Ho if you didn't know.
Dog. Does that make it Friday yet?
Yeah.
Makes it Friday now?
Yes, official.
All right, it's a sweet deal Friday, too. We got Cello Grill coming up for you in a little bit. Big hoops going on tonight. Lobos are up in beautiful Fort Collins. Take on Colorado State. 9 o'clock over on News Radio KKOB. Big one for New Mexico if they can win tonight. And then Air Force can beat San Jose State on tomorrow afternoon. Lobos can earn that bye in the first round, not play till Thursday. Otherwise, get ready for a Wednesday game. I saw a bunch of people yesterday. How about this? At that Aggie event, saw a bunch of Lobo supporters. Yeah, no, I had to change my flight. We're moving our flight back because they were going to put. Oh, look at that. You guys. It was almost like, don't tell anybody you saw me here. A lot of those people. Big hoops last night on the West Coast, JJ. So Arizona State and USC are both on the bubble, correct? Yes. Arizona State and Bobby Hurley went into Pauley Pavilion, and they're 20-10, 11-8 in the Pac-12. UCLA ran them out the built last night. Jaime Jaquez is going to probably be the player of the year in the Conference of Champions. Had 26 points. UCLA beat Arizona State 79-61. I don't think that's a bad loss for them, but I don't think it helps them. I think they were Jerry's last team in. USC is also right on that bubble. They were at home last night against 8th-ranked Arizona. Arizona beat SC. So the separation with the top two and everybody else in the Pac-12 is pretty apparent, right? There's UCLA and Arizona and everybody else. They're going to get another team in, don't you think? There's no way it's only...
Yeah, one of those is going to pick off a couple in Vegas.
I think SC is better than Arizona State. We'll find out on Saturday. Arizona State will be at SC. But that's what happened. Other stuff in the top 20 last night. Houston rolled. They're the top-ranked team in the country, Houston. 83-66 over Wichita State. And Purdue got a scare last night. Did you watch any of that? Wisconsin looked like they had a beat. Purdue came back, and Zach Edey had 17 and 19. 17 and 19. And fifth-ranked Purdue beats Wisconsin 63-61. So, not a lot of movement at the very top, but on the bubble there was a lot of movement. One game in the Mountain West tonight. That'll be the Lobos at Colorado State. What do you think? Where does Isaiah Stevens go down for you? Isaiah Stevens is Colorado State's terrific guard. They went to the NCAA tournament last year, him and David Roddy. He's terrific. Is he? I don't know. I don't want to say he's the greatest guard, one of the greatest, but he's
very solid career. I think rate is pushing it.
Yeah, I think that's probably right.
Good guard.
He's averaging 18 points a game this year. He's kind of, but he's a guy who's had magical moments, right? Some of those games you just went, wow. He's a pretty special player, and you get a chance to see him. Now, the Lobos are hoping senior night's just another night for him, and there's no magic that's left there because there's something else. All right, we got a sweet deal for you. We do this on Fridays, and this is one of your favorites. It is Cello Grill. You know, when you see some of these like Cello Grill pop up a few times, that means A, it's been very successful, and B, you really, really like it. And Cello Grill is one of your favorite stops for lunch, favorites for catering. It's right there on Manal and was it Cutler, right, Mackenzie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good to see you, by the way. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Go on our website, 9 o'clock this morning, sportsanimалabq.com. Click on the sweet deal icon, and for $25, you get $50 worth of Cello Grill. You got a lot of specials going on, don't you? Lots going on. What's happening?
Yeah, so we have our weekly specials. Every Wednesday, we have Euro Wednesday, so you get half off our traditional Euros. And then actually today, every Friday, we have Feta Friday. So we have half off Feta fries.
Really? Feta fries sound delicious.
Sounds very good.
What do you dip them in? What's your favorite dip for Feta fries?
Usually people just use like ketchup, but a lot of people just eat them plain, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Also, and Marie, I don't know what the deal is. I was told, well, if you're getting married, I'm like, hey, easy. Like some of us are happily unwed. But you guys are like the top rated caterer in Albuquerque with an average review rating of 4.9 stars. So, if you're getting married or not, you're doing a, hey, we're not married party, or having a Mother's Day event coming up, or what? Or
hey, we're not married party.
Why wouldn't you have one of those? We have them all the time. Or opening a baseball season, or NCAA tournament party, or we're just having a dang party. You guys are the spot.
Yeah, definitely. We have lots of customizable catering packages. We do box lunches, we do buffet style, and we have gluten-free options, vegetarian. So we can make a catering package for whatever fits your need.
And any limits on size, big, small?
No, big, small. We do all types of catering. Yeah.
You guys rule. All right, if you order in their app, you download the Cello Grill app, you get 50% off desserts all day, every day, all year, every year. I mean, it's kind of cool. The app's kind of the thing, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty neat. It's easy to use. You just download from the App Store and
what's like a percentage? I know you don't have the stats, but like roughly, how many people are ordering on the app as opposed to coming in?
We do get a lot of like just walk-in orders.
Yeah.
We're trying to push the app a little bit more just because it's so convenient. And then we can have it ready for you when you pick up your food. And
all right, let people know where you are and how to get a hold of you, see the menu, and learn more about Cello Grill if for some reason they don't know about Cello Grill. Where are you? Let people know where you are and the website.
Oh, yeah. So just go to our website, cellogrill.com. And then we're just on the corner of San Mateo and Cutler.
All right, go have fun with it and enjoy it. 9 o'clock this morning. It goes on sale. Sweet deal icon on sportsanimалabq.com. Mackenzie, great to see you.
Thank you.
Have fun with all your radio friends today. And Mr. Stigler will take good care of you.
Thank you so much.
That's Cello Grill at Mackenzie's in there. You ever been there? It's a great spot.
Yes, I have been.
No, it is flat. And I don't think I've had the feta fries.
Sounds very good.
I think I might have the feta fries because I think they're very good. I mean, I think they sound very good. I mean, everything else there is very good. All right, 505-246-0610. What a hoe. I ate my entire breakfast while you were hoeing, said Lobo Hobo. Huh. What'd you have? Rats, says AC. Rumor has it Urban Meyer left them. Oh, see what he did there? Now it makes sense. That's why they have rats. Totally makes sense. All right. I want to get in the NBA when we get back. And there has been a lot on what's going on in Dallas. I want to talk a little bit more. Two teams that kind of have a different look. I don't know if it's all brand new. Two on display last night. Kawhi getting back in the groove with the Clippers. What does that mean? And can Kyrie and Luka win a championship as constructed? Can they play any defense in Dallas? They won last night, but can they win a championship? Hey, business owners, are your computers and networks secure? You sure about that? You really sure about secure? You need to know about ABQ IT. You got to know your system's protected from hackers and cybercrime. A gap in your cybersecurity can do major damage to your business, and the threat is absolutely real. ABQ IT provides a thorough look at your computer security. They'll tell you where you're at risk. ABQ IT created a business model designed to protect you from malicious threats. Keep your computers up to date, and they do it at one affordable cost. By June 9th of this year, many of you are going to have to ensure the personal data of your customers is protected. You aware of the FTC safeguards rule? Your business may face penalties if you're not compliant by that deadline. With ABQ IT, you will be prepared. There's no hourly rate, no labor billing, no hidden fees. Your rate is predictable. It's not going to change. You got to protect your business. It's just not worth the risk, hoping, thinking bad things won't happen. Trust the experts in cybersecurity and compliance. Visit abq-it.com. That's abq-it.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Dream style stucco. Stucco is the way to go. The Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream style stucco.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say, people mean more.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
So we're going to hit March Madness. We're going to hit the NCAA tournament. I kind of in March Madness. It's March 3rd, and the conference tournament's already happening. Big story in the college basketball world yesterday was Antoine Davis. I know you don't know who Antoine Davis is before maybe yesterday or even this morning. Really good player from Detroit Mercy, who fell 3 points shy of the all-time NCAA scoring record set by Pistol Pete Maravich back in the day. And I've been telling you, look, it's just not the same. It's just not the same. This guy did it in 5, and not to dilute his achievement because it's a terrific achievement. But this young man with the COVID year had 5 years, shot clock era and three-point shot. Pistol Pete did it in 3 years because freshmen weren't eligible back in the day. No shot clock, no three-point line. And so he's 3 points short, and they're 14 and 19 is Detroit Mercy. And a lot of us think that the CBI or somebody, just to become relevant, is going to invite this 14 and 19 team to the postseason. And so he can break the record, and they can say, look what we had in our tournament. I think that would be a shame. I think this worked out the way it was supposed to. Really good run by a good player, and it's terrific. But man, Pete Maravich is the guy, and it's just it's apples to grapes. It's just not the same thing. So
it would be probably the basketball classic.
The basketball classic,
which is what Fresno State won last year.
TBC
debuted in last year,
Okay.
21-22.
Yeah. So that's a third one beyond the NIT?
Did play in it.
Who did?
Detroit Mercy played in it last year.
What was their record?
They were 1 game under 500 last year.
Now they're 5. Okay.
But they got that dude.
How many? Would they have 16 teams?
The Basketball Classic was founded by College Insider to replace the College Insider postseason tournament, which was discontinued.
The CIT.
pandemic. Yeah.
Okay. And so this is the CBI? Is that what is this?
The Basketball Classic, so
TBC.
TBC.
Look, man, there's the tournament, then there's the NIT, and then there's those things. But, I mean, teams play, and they get extra, I don't know, whatever it's worth to you. Go do what you got to do. I firmly think it's going to happen. I think it's a shame. But it is what it is. And let the young man have his time and his glory, but it's just not the same. All right, NBA stuff. And you're watching this now because we're coming down to the last 15, 20 games in the regular season. And the way the schedule times out, as soon as the NCAA tournament's over, and then you're going to jump into the playoffs of the NBA and the National Hockey League. And it's really kind of genius the way the whole schedule plays out. Dallas Mavericks won last night, 133-126 over Philadelphia. Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic scored 82 of their 133 points. And it's the second time the Mavericks have won with those two in the lineup. We've been having this conversation, JJ, can they win as constructed at the level at which they are expecting to win? Text line says, no, you got to play defense in the NBA. No team that doesn't play defense is ever successful in the NBA. I'm trying to think back, and everything tightens up, right? NBA basketball gets more intense the further you go. It's just like the hockey playoffs. Hockey, if you watch a hockey playoff game 7, it's a different game than watching a November game between Calgary and Seattle, right? You're just watching a different game. NBA is the same way. I think baseball's the same way. Everything ratchets up in the playoffs. But you got to play defense. I just look at that roster, and I think you and I are on the same page. Phoenix is better. Denver, I think, is better.
No, I think Denver is better. There's no I think in that. There should not be an I think if we're talking about
Yeah. All right.
the Dallas Mavericks.
I'll give you that.
Like the one thing Dallas doesn't have is anyone, not even one guy you point at and go, oh, that's your defender. They had the one guy they had
to move.
They traded Dorian Finney-Smith, and there's still only one guy on the roster. Like this was a weird move for Dallas. Because knowing Kyrie is going to be a free agent after this season, just pairing with Luka, they're essentially the same player, just incredibly high usage, ball dominant guys.
Ball dominant
that we see, that they put up a ton of points. But I just look at how does that make you a championship caliber player?
I'm not
like
sure.
two guards doesn't do that.
Yeah, they got two dynamic scorers and one basketball. And to your point, the ball doesn't move. I will give like
it'd be different if we're talking if Luka was actually a presence on the perimeter. If he was like a Jason Tatum, and that works because they're long, they defend, they get you on the wing.
Yeah, it's not him.
Luka doesn't do any of that.
It's not him. I'll even give you look at great scores, right? Look at Steph Curry, LeBron James. They share the basketball. The ball moves. It doesn't get to them and stick. The ball moves. You watch a Mavericks game, and even currently with Kyrie Irving there, the ball gets in Luka's hands and it sticks for 9 seconds. Nothing happens. And I think Luka Doncic is an incredibly talented basketball player. I think is it a limb to say he's a top 5 guy in this league?
Going out on a limb.
I mean, it's right. Certainly top 10.
Top 10.
And it can be better if he learns how to move the basketball and share the ball. And then Kyrie is ball dominant. No, JJ, you're right. And then they don't defend. And I start looking around the West and I say, all right, I think Phoenix and with Kevin Durant now.
They're playing this weekend.
They are
on Sunday.
They are playing
I'm very
this
excited
weekend.
about that game.
Yeah, and I think
so Katie and Kyrie get to hug.
Yeah,
Aww,
and make everything good.
Oh man, I miss you.
Yeah, sure.
Does Phoenix play enough
I
defense to win?
Couldn't make it work.
Does Phoenix
I trust
play
Phoenix
enough?
more.
I trust Phoenix more
So
too.
do I.
Because Kevin Durant defends, block shots. DeAndre Ayton can be a better presence inside.
100%.
That's why I'm excited to see them play not the Hornets, but like a team like the Mavericks
Mhm.
this weekend to see.
Yeah,
You know.
no, that's a good NBA game this weekend.
I know we're honeymoon staging, but I think it's a real thing.
Is that Sunday?
Yes.
So you flip between that and the last round of the Arnold Palmer Invitation
And XFL.
after your tea time? All right,
Oh, I'm golfing in the middle of the day.
I got a 10-10, so I should be back in time. XFL, who's your favorite team? Like what?
I'm an Arlington Renegades fan?
Arlington Renegades.
Okay, so just to let you guys know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm hardcore.
Yeah, I see
I know
that.
we're week 3 in, and I have a gambling problem.
Okay.
But we're doing fantasy XFL with my fantasy football team. And we pulled teams out of a hat, and that became your official team. And whoever wins the most
So you didn't
games-
draft a team. It's not like a fantasy team.
No,
You
they
just
don't
have
have
a
that
team.
yet. But we just we have a pot, and whoever has the best regular season record wins the pot.
Okay. What has been exciting? What have you liked aside from betting? What have you liked? What have you, no,
I think the
aside from
games-
betting, what have you liked
no,
about the
I
XFL?
think it's fun football. Like, it's different. I guess it's like super new to me, and I don't know a lot about the players, but it's a lot of fun.
Okay.
It's just like a lot of fun, and the rules are a little different with certain things, but
Okay.
it's a new
That's
product.
totally
It's
fair.
exciting,
Have you seen any of it?
and it's good football.
Well, like AJ McCarron's not like new to our consciousness. And the thing I think it's funny is how he's
Who's he
being
play for?
celebrated for taking less money, and The Rock is like, "Thank you for taking less money to come play in my league." It's like you have like $1 bajillion, Rock, and this is like this story you're celebrating. It's a guy taking less.
I
money
love
to play
that
in your league.
Paxton Lynch has already been benched after 2 weeks.
Paxton Lynch might be the
He has been
second.
benched in every league he has played in.
He could be the second or third biggest flop ever.
I'm just letting you
No,
know.
honestly. I mean, Jamarcus Russell's
Don't bet on
number one.
Paxton Lynch in the XFL.
Yeah, he could be. Who does he play for? Who is he benched for? Yeah.
I can't think of it. I have to get the back. See, I don't
No,
even
that's
know
all
the.
right. I'm done. I didn't mean to
No,
throw
no,
a
no,
curveball
no. I don't even know. I'm trying to get all the mascots down.
So I tried, and I'll try again. I don't have anything against it. I just didn't hold me. I
It
flipped
didn't-
over. I watched
Orlando
it.
Guardians, and they're trash, by the way.
The Orlando Guardians.
So far, they're like a really bad team.
All right. I've found it. I never sought it out. I looked. I flipped through. Oh, all right. There's XFL. Let me watch it let's watch the game. Yeah, it's not doing it for me. All right. There's golf on, or there's hoops on. There's I'll watch Seton Hall Xavier instead of that.
Well, that makes sense too, because
Yeah. And then I did go try to find
I
Live.
understand your priorities.
Yeah, I did try to find the Live the other day too, and it wasn't available on my television package. The CW is not available on DirecTV Local.
Funny how that changed.
So I did. Look, I'm trying the new stuff. It's just
Well, just watch the Arlington Renegades this weekend. You might change your mind.
the Arlington Renegades. Who they playing?
The
Highlands Cowboys.
No.
Eastern Greyhounds.
No.
Who they playing?
They are going to be playing the Orlando Guardians.
Oh, they're trash.
They're playing Paxton
That-
Lynch.
I've learned that
Paxton
they're
Lynch-
trash.
Yeah, Paxton Lynch is being benched.
Yeah, the bench pack. Oh, tune in to watch Paxton Lynch on the bench and the trash Orlando Guardians take on the Arlington. What's their names?
Renegades.
Yeah.
You really want to push that down the list when you're saying you have new exciting football.
Yeah.
Is by saying Paxton Lynch is one of your starting quarterbacks.
Or-
you don't want that.
Or one of your backup
now
quarterbacks.
backup.
In
yeah.
that.
Yeah, one of your backup quarterbacks. All right, we'll return.
It's really funny.
The Aggies were in town yesterday. Mario Mocha, the athletic director, Jerry Kill, their football coach, they brought the trophy at a pep rally. Mario Mocha, the athletic director, did address the fans that were there and did address somewhat what's going on. What did he say to those people? I'll tell you next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Discover.
Nelson, he's got 3 fouls, so he doesn't really want to be getting
Could be
involved.
the dagger. That's
Gomez!
Inside. Hostile gives it up. Shot is up. Oh!
Ball goes inside to Duke, guarded by Trujillo. Eli with the tip and the finish. Schermerhorn on the drive. Yes, strong fit.
She's gonna got numbers. Gonna
1
make it.
second. She slips it in just a.
Montoya, plenty of room. Yes! Wide open long ball for Jason Montoya. Third. One against the screen. Ball fake, but rejected. Boom. Rejected. Quickly, or if they hold for the final. Wyckoff, yes, count the basket. A chance at a three-point play for Wyckoff, and a free throw is coming up.
Catch and shoot.
E. Hill, give it to the hot hand. Why not?
We're happy for the boys, and oh boy.
Coach.
I guess they knew about it.
One more.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say, people mean more.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network.
In men's basketball for most teams, although some conference tournaments are underway, Lobo women will head to Vegas. When are you going, on Sunday? Open up on Monday, conference tournament against San Diego State. What time's that game on Monday?
3:30 Mountain.
3:30 Mountain Time here on the Sports Animal. Lobos and San Diego State from Las Vegas. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, and Anne-Marie. Thank you for being with us on the Sports Animal this morning. All right, so last night, nice event over at Nativo Lounge, the New Mexico State, and they do this a number of times a year, as they should. They bring prominent figures in their athletic department up to Albuquerque, where they've got such a big alumni base, and do a little evening. I don't know, it's not like a little pep rally kind of a thing. Mario Mocha, the athletic director, Jerry Kill, Diego Pavia, a couple, there were players and coaches. They spoke. They brought the trophy that they won at the Quick Lane Bowl with their victory over Bowling Green back on the day after Christmas. So it was a good vibe in the room, really nice atmosphere. I thought the crowd was good, bigger than I believe it was last year. And, a lot of alumni that obviously people who care about their program. And JJ, it was to celebrate their football success. That the intent was they brought their football coach. They brought some players. It was and the coaches. They brought a lot of their staff. It was to celebrate the success of their season. And I don't think anybody can sit and deny. And Lobo fan, you can make fun of who they beat, and you were one of them. And whatever. There really is no making fun of an 0-4 team that turned it completely around and legitimized everything with the victory the way they won at Liberty. Don't you think?
There's nothing to make fun of.
There's nothing to apologize or make fun about.
There's nothing to apologize or make fun about. This is a team that was at the bottom with zero expectations last year.
With a first-year coach that rebuilt it. So they had a lot of success. So there's a lot to celebrate. And they did. And there's also a lot going on at New Mexico State, and there's a big story in today's paper that was written by the Associated Press about all the way up to the top, to the chancellor, and you can read it. And I don't know that I think anything is brand new in there. I think it was just summarized for a national audience. So I don't think it could have been avoided, the issue of shutting down the basketball season and having to fire their basketball coach. And this came on the same day that Mario actually had to fire his baseball coach. Mike Kirby was relieved of his duties, their baseball coach down there, after no one's 7th start yesterday. So the athletic director did, he went through all the accolades and all the great things that happened and pushed season tickets and all those things. And the crowd was very receptive. And he said, and I'm paraphrasing, but I've got to acknowledge that there's some negative things going on. And I don't even know if he alluded to basketballs by saying it. He may have. But he said, as an alum, and Mario is an alum. Mario Mocha played baseball at New Mexico State, and I was the athletic director, and it's been since 2015. He said, as an alum, this bothers me, and I will fix it. We will fix this. And he said, there's a lot going on, and we will fix this, and we will restore what's proud, and we're on it. And he addressed it. And there were no details. Nobody asked any questions at the end. It was open for questions. And I know he was asked a number of times, when are you getting a new coach? Who's the new coach? He said he's compiled some names. He's got a list going. He's talked to some people, but isn't deep into the process. I think they need to get wouldn't you say they've got to kind of identify somebody here in the next 3 weeks-ish? Right? I'll give you more than that. I'll give you 4. So by right around the Final Four, it's got to be done. Don't you think? I mean, that's the cycle, right? Coaches get fired at the end of the season, hired. That's the cycle, is during the tournament, right?
Well, yeah, they should have already been having conversations, because there's a lot of work to do for whoever comes in.
Yes. So it was addressed and it was received. If you were there, I'm curious what you thought. Inviting you to call 505-246-0610. And as an Aggie fan, have you heard what you need to hear? And are you on that train? There's way more positive than there is negative. That's the message that Mario, Jerry Killer's sending. And there's a lot of positive going on down there. Do you feel that way as an Aggie alum? I know the people who were there last night certainly did. It's the opening drive. Thanks for being with us on a Friday morning on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports FM.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
Too strong. It's going to be a rebound there by Brown. Brown gets it in. Bucket there by Alter.
Crossover for Jackson. Salas steals the rebound and finds a cutting Mitchell at the rim.
Great move.
It's almost even in the foul territory, and the Cueva looking to take advantage. Said Yates draws the foul, and one opportunity is Said gives the muscles down.
And it's 11-4, 38. Another turnover by Rio Grande. Montoya off the glass, up and in, back-to-back layups for the Demons.
Oh, was stolen away again by Valdez. Valdez is going to bring it out.
Valdez has to have around 3 or 4 steals. 3 by Mays.
Bingo! That one rattles in for Alyssa Mays, and the All-District Player of the Year has 12.
Penetrates, no foul call. Rodriguez lines one up and knocks down the 3. First basket of the night.
To back it out.
Look at this deep 3.
Wow! That was from NBA range.
What a steal. Stevison 2-on-1, gets up, gets it in.
He doesn't use it, comes back out to Dominguez, who takes the 3. Boom! There's that man, Superman.
Turns, shoots off. Oh, wow. He made that.
Wow. That was crazy. That was a crazy shot.
Has everybody on him. Now he got open.
Open look for a 3, and that's what he does. A 3 for Denaclaw. His first bucket of the game. And that's a 3, and it'll count at the buzzer.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, A. Marie Castillo, and J.J. Bob.
You know, as much as the NFLPA report card talks about rats and plumbing and training staff, you know what it's all about? It always comes back to the same thing. Quarterback. It's always back to quarterback, is it not? whether it's Daniel Jones or C.J. Stroud or Aaron Rodgers or Jim Garoppolo or Derek Carr, what are the biggest stories in the NFL? You can tell me all about your number one draft pick or Jalen Carter or whatever.
Got to have one to be competitive.
Quarterback. What's up? I'm just the center, Jeff Symbieta, along with our quarterback, J.J. Buck. A. Marie is the offensive line. You like that, right? I mean, does that make sense? You're like kind of clearing the way?
Yeah.
Making things happen. You have to have a good offensive line or you're nothing.
Well, the mics don't turn on. The show doesn't
Or a
start.
coordinator.
That's my point. That's kind of my point. Text line said, "Did you need a waiver to attend last night, Jeffy?" Yeah, no, I did. I got my waiver. It was granted. Not sure. I walked
in through the back entrance.
Well, I didn't know it was. I went to the New Mexico State. I had a great event last night. They had a wonderful event. And look, every time I go to one of those, it reinforces what I've thought for years. The Aggie fan base is passionate, and I go to Lobo events, and aside from their big galas, I mean that was as big as an event, a similar event that a Lobos would have. I'm not telling you there's more Aggie fans here than there are Lobos. It's hardly what I'm saying, but there's a lot of alum here, and it reinforced that there's a big base in Bernalillo County of Aggie alumni and people who care about it. But yeah, I certainly was getting was not a favorite of Aggie fan because of the bowl situation when the bowl thing went down. And I wasn't sure, how were people were great. I didn't take one hit. There's a good buddy I've got. I saw at the golf course about 12 days ago, told me you screwed up by not taking the Aggies in the New Mexico Bowl. And I think everybody understands that this was out of my control and we had a great matchup and it worked out. This really worked out perfectly for everybody, didn't it?
It did.
They had a great TV rating. They played in an NFL stadium. They won a bowl game. Our game was a success.
Got BYU, SMU.
Yeah. Two teams that are going to be power conference schools. One's already in the Big 12. Everything worked out. And look, I think everybody knows we'd love to have New Mexico State in the game at some point in the New Mexico Bowl. It just didn't work last year. It was beyond my power. And what meant the most to me was when Jerry Kill said to me, you know how I feel about you. And he and I, we talked a lot, and I think everybody understands. But yeah, did I have to get a waiver? I was thinking about a security detail at one point. But it's funny how it all plays out and it works. All right, talking about quarterbacks. NFL. Daniel Jones wants more than $45 million a year on his new deal. Like I think Daniel Jones is a nice quarterback. And I want $45 million on my new deal too, dude. Like we all want, but the report that's out this morning and the Giants and Daniel Jones's new representation have been talking all year. Up to $45 million a year. How many years are they looking for? Because he's 25 years old. Look, he's not a $45 million a year quarterback. And you could tell me that's the lower end of the high level. And I'll tell you that's fine. I don't think he's high level. He's a good quarterback that is on the rise. And I would incentivize it. Like I would. Daniel Jones is. I remember when Jerry was in the other day and he said this, and I always like looking at Jerry and Stephanie when they're in here, right? People who really don't follow the NFL and aren't up to speed on well, an average quarterback salary is 35, 45
Their
million,
eyes.
right? And I said, he's about he's worth about 35 million. He can get by on that, but where do you guys think Daniel Jones is? I mean, just because he's the latest guy to sign an extension, he's not that echelon. And the other piece about this is, and this is what's bothering me. And I don't even know why it bothers me because it's not my damn money. But when I keep hearing, well, that's the market, that's what Kyler Murray got, and look at how many of these deals are appearing to not be deals that are working out, whether it's Kyler Murray, whether it's Russell Wilson, whatever it is, these guys are getting $45 million a year, and it's just not working out.
Yeah, but that's also not how it works. Because if you're Daniel Jones, you say, I want a playoff game. First year with Brian Dable, look at the steps that we took as an offense, as a team.
Yep, I get where he's coming from.
You're going to say you're not going to pay me because Kyler Murray tore his ACL, and peace out.
Yeah, and why wouldn't you put out that money there when that is the market?
So would you put that for Daniel
I think
Jones?
Yes.
Daniel Jones gets franchise tag.
And that's going to be about $32.4 million. And that would be the non-exclusive. So that would allow him to negotiate with whomever else. If he goes on the franchise tag, it would be about $45 million. And so what you're
and you have
basing
to
that
take Saquon Barkley into consideration.
well,
as well.
and that's kind of what they're saying, man. And look, you know where we all feel about paying running backs that kind of money, and I don't think anybody's going to pay Saquon Barkley that kind of money. I don't. Saquon Barkley was oft injured, had this really nice season last year where he stayed healthy, but he's a running back, and the history of that position paying exorbitant amounts of money has shown that nobody's going to do it.
And
anymore.
I think it's harder to find a franchise quarterback than it is a running back.
1,000%.
So.
Although I would argue with you right now,
Great year for Saquon, though.
There's more franchise quarterbacks in the league right now than there are franchise running backs. And what do we go through? We found 5 of them: McCaffrey and the guy in Indianapolis, Jonathan Taylor,
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah,
he led the league
yeah,
in rushing.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because are those teams in the playoffs?
Derrick Henry.
Christian McCaffrey wasn't going to make the playoffs. They were close, but like Jonathan Taylor, nope.
What are there?
Josh Jacobs,
five, maybe 6 franchise running backs. I don't know. I don't consider Najee Harris one of those. I know he's billed as one. I don't think he's that good. Derrick Henry to make the playoffs. Jonathan Taylor,
especially because a lot of people do the dual running back now, and so
that's what I'm saying. So I agree with
you.
You.
Running backs like Jamal Williams and
DeAndre Swift,
and look at what the Chiefs do.
So I'll agree with you. It's harder and certainly more important to find a franchise quarterback. There are more franchise quarterbacks in arguably.
And you saw Daniel Jones. What he's done in like the last couple seasons, especially under a good coach. So,
well, 1 year. One season.
I'm saying.
Yeah. One season. Look, I think he had a good year and he deserves a contract. And I'll if you want to tell me that he's better than Russell Wilson right now, I'd even listen to it.
Jeff.
Yeah.
You think he's better than Russell Wilson?
Who do you want right now? Who do you want in the next 5 years? You want Russell Wilson? You want Daniel Jones?
Russell Wilson.
I'm not sure I do.
I don't think either is going to be.
I don't love.
Yeah,
either.
I don't love either option, but based off it, like experience and what I've seen.
You were just selling me Daniel Jones hard.
Daniel Jones is.
Yeah, and he's 25.
He needs to. He's doing the right thing. You ask for the top, and you go into negotiations, and then you still settle with a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like so, I don't see these reports and go crazy and start screaming, "Oh, Daniel Jones is dumb," and how could you do this? No, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I want.
You don't go in there and go, "Hey, you guys want to give me like $1 million? I'm cool."
So where do you settle? 40, 42?
I could if I'm the Giants.
Yeah.
I don't want to get hampered for a really long-term deal.
Either.
Maybe I like the idea of incentives in there. Try to make it an incentive-laden contract. I think if you could come in $35 million a year, you'll feel pretty good about yourself for Daniel Jones for a future.
I think that's exactly where I feel good about it. No, 100%. And he had one good year. To your point, do you trust him long term?
And that's where your Jared Goffs, your Kirk Cousins, like that's their market right there, 35, 30 million.
And theirs are kind of what are considered to be antiquated deals already, right? Mm-hmm. That's a lot of freaking money, man.
Yeah.
That's 35 million. You're playing 17 games. If you play every game, you're making $2 million a game. You ever put it in that context? If you play every game, you're making like $2 million a game. It's insanity. And look, get everything you can get. I'm all for it. I just don't think that guy's of that ilk. I don't think I'd pay Daniel Jones. I'd want to lock him up for 3 to 4 years at $35 million with incentives. And if you get us to the playoffs, here's a bonus. And if you win a playoff game, here's a bonus. And if you're MVP, here's a bonus. And if you lead the league in passing, here's a bonus. And if you lead the league in rushing quarterbacks, here's like all that stuff. Let's load you up. But while I believe that he's going to get better, I cannot pay you market-breaking money because you had one decent, not great. It was a good year. He wasn't great. He showed progress. I like Daniel Jones. I like where he went. He led that team to the playoffs, and he's young. I like him. But he's not proven to me that I'm giving him what Joe Burrow's getting and what those guys. I just can't.
Absolutely not.
I like him. I want him around. But I can't. And then I can't sign Saquon? No. I can't. And so I'm tagging him. Do you think someone else, if they put him on the non-exclusive at 30, what would I just tell you, 30, 32 and a half, 35, whatever the number was?
No.
Somebody else takes him?
No.
They're not giving up 2 first-round picks for Dan.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So I think they're safe doing that. And now you get another year to prove it to me. And now if he has a better year next year, now we can have a conversation, that number that you're looking at.
And it's also one of the quarterbacks. I think Daniel Jones, he's doing the right thing. He's asking for
the
highest, but he understands that he needs Saquon Barkley. Like, there's a handful of quarterbacks that we point to and say they're going to carry the offense. The rest need a good supporting cast. And Daniel Jones needs a Saquon Barkley for however long he can last at that level. Because Daniel Jones is not, hey, let's look at what the Chiefs do offensively with no running backs. No, he's not that dude. We get it. That's not breaking news. He needs solid running back. That's why people think Ryan Tannehill is good, because he hands the ball to Derrick Henry 85 times a game.
Well, they think he's good also because his team got to the AFC Championship twice.
He did not get to the AFC Championship game twice.
His team, Ryan Tannehill's didn't?
He did not get to the AFC Championship game twice.
They did?
It was just once.
Once? All right.
Still pretty good, but and then it fell on their faces.
Oh yeah. Then they were the 1 seed, and they threw 5 interceptions. Yeah, but you know that it's always the quarterback who gets the credit or the blame. The other thing is on Daniel Jones, and the risk of sounding like the general manager of the Baltimore Ravens, who's he been throwing to? Right? Who was his best receiver? Exactly. They traded him, Kadarius Toney, right?
And they just dropped another one.
So look, I'm in. I want to see what more I want, but I'm not paying you top of the market because you had one nice year. I can't mortgage. Now I'll tag you. You have another year. Let's have this conversation in 12 months. You have another year, and we get the 5 seed, or we win that division, and we go further and play. Okay, then let's have this conversation. There's a quarterback in the draft who says he's been the best player in college football and is going to make a huge impact in the NFL. Which quarterback's saying that? Next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at U.S. Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with U.S. Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with U.S. Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
All right, so you got a quarterback that wants $45 million, and then you got a couple, 3, 4 in the draft at the top of the draft. I like the kid from Florida, by the way, Richardson. A lot. I think, and he slips to the teens. I think someone gets a steal, don't you?
Anthony Richardson is the one guy that you look at this draft and go, Josh Allen.
Okay.
Checks all the boxes. He's got the arm. He's got the athleticism. Needs refine. It's hard to do because there's not many quarterbacks like Josh Allen that are sub 60%, come in and become MVP caliber. It's hard. But Anthony Richardson has those traits. If he's hooks up with a solid OC.
You know, I'm looking at some of the recent drafts, and I look around the league. Joe Burrow was a number 1 overall. Patrick Mahomes was not the first quarterback taken in his draft. Josh Allen was not the first quarterback taken in his draft. Justin Fields, who was in the Super Bowl, sure as hell was not the first quarterback taken in his draft. In fact, he wasn't first. I'm sorry, Jalen Hurts, not Justin Fields. Jalen Hurts was not the first. In fact, he was in the first round. Like, I'm looking around at some of the best quarterbacks that come out of drafts, and more often than not, and I think if we went back and literally did the research on this, it would prove that the first quarterback taken is not the best quarterback in that draft. He will not be the first quarterback. In fact, I would tell you he'll probably be the 4th quarterback taken in this draft.
The first quarterback selected usually goes to a terrible franchise.
Yeah, and sometimes those franchises turn around. Like, I'm watching what happens in Jacksonville. You're right. No, you're right. And so would you say, well, like Lamar Jackson didn't, right? And he was down the draft and look where he is. You're right. So would you say some of these guys who went for, like Joe Burrow went to the horrible franchise and went to the damn Super Bowl, right?
He's that dude.
Who else are you saying that, well, they flopped because they went to a horrible situation recently? Is there, I mean, I'm looking around. I don't know. I mean, Tua? Not really.
No, like number 1 overall pick.
Who was number 1 overall that flopped because they went to a bad situation? Was Kyler Murray number 1 overall? He has not flopped, by the way. Marcus Mediocre?
That was the Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota draft.
He was number 1, right?
I think Jameis was number 1.
All right. So both of those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Tampa Bay wasn't horrible. I didn't think. No, man. Jared Goff was number 1 overall, but the Rams weren't horrible.
Appearance.
Went to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I totally think that's 100%. Nothing's 100%. Yeah. All right.
If you look at a lot of the guys, it's really hard. It's the hardest position to play in the NFL, just in terms of what you're asked to do, and then you need everything to work around you. And that's why I'm with you. I'm fascinated about Anthony Richardson.
I like him a lot. I just watch him be special. Like when you watch a player in college and you're like, oh, that guy's just different, right? He's just different. Like Saquon was different in college, right? When he was at Penn State, he was just different. Mahomes, to some respect, was different, but Joe Burrow, right? Even Deshaun Watson, different dudes. Yeah. Anthony Richardson, when I watched Florida last year, he was just a different cat.
It's exactly like Josh Allen at Wyoming.
Yeah.
Like, he's got all the traits. If the team wasn't setting the world on fire. But if you're in for a franchise, you're like, man, we get this guy into our system. And it's got to be one where you have it can't be it can't be like Tennessee Titans or something like that. You got to have an offensive minded OC willing to develop, because we look at what we've seen like to me? Josh Allen. It wasn't, he'll come in, we'll run a football. No, they spread it out, they threw it around.
You know what it sounds like to me? The perfect fit? Raiders. Right? They're going to pick in the teens, or like, what are they, 10, 11, somewhere in there?
7.
Are they that? Okay. All right. I mean, that's a team that I'm looking at going, okay, 7. That 7?
Well, Will Levis.
You have the draft order right there. Can I see that real quick?
Absolutely.
Because I'm thinking, they may go Will Levis. Jets are sitting at 13. I mean, would the Jets do something like that if they don't get a quarterback? They wouldn't.
No. I don't think they would do that at 13.
Is there any way?
So I think if the Jets, they're coming out with Derek Carr, Jimmy Garoppolo, something like that.
Is there any way he falls to 16 to Washington? And then he goes to Eric Bieniemy?
Well, I could actually see a team like Washington, something like that,
moving up to 12 somewhere to get him?
Yes.
Yeah. Trading with Houston, because Houston already had a first-round pick, and then they trade back and get more? Mm-hmm.
Because he's the guy.
Would Tennessee take him at 11?
I would hate that for him.
They just took Malik. What was the kid from Liberty? They took
Malik Willis last year.
Yeah.
But that's the situation you go to, and they don't know what to do with the quarterback in Tennessee.
Washington would be a nice spot for him. I'm just telling you, I love Derek Carr in Washington, but if they don't get Derek Carr and it's 16, Richardson sitting there, that's your guy.
Someone's gonna probably move up to grab him if he's there, just because of the intrigue, like the athleticism, the arm talent. Refine it.
All right, Ohio State's quarterback, C.J. Stroud, is going to be one of the top 2 quarterbacks taken. He believes he's been the best player in college football the past 2 years. And he does not want to join the Bears. He doesn't want to replace Justin Fields with the Bears. He wants to go and make his own mark. Chicago's got the top pick in the draft, right? And they've not ruled out taking a quarterback. They've not ruled out trading Justin Fields. But C.J. Stroud was interviewed at the Combine yesterday. He said, I don't want to go to the Bears. That is his team, he said. Flat out. And guys never say, I don't want to go somewhere. They never say, I don't want to. And unless you're Eli Manning saying, I don't want to go to the Chargers. Or John Elway saying, I don't want to go to the Colts. But, I mean, guys never say, I don't want to go somewhere. So where are we looking, man? Houston, number 2. Indy, number 4. Raiders, number 7. No. Falcons, number 8. Carolina, number 9.
If C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young are not the quarterbacks of the Colts or Texans in
somebody jumped
some order.
Somebody jumped him. Right? Then somebody jumped him.
Someone jumped him.
Yeah.
Like it should be simple. Like someone's got to go to 1.
Yeah.
Grab it, and then 2. Like those should be the first 2 quarterbacks. And if Houston and Indianapolis do not come away with one of those guys in this draft,
they failed.
They have done something terribly wrong.
Yeah.
Like this is the time. This is it. These are the 2 best guys in the draft. Indianapolis, you're done with, unless you want to throw your hat in a Derek Carr race. Like, go get a young,
but they're not going to
quarterback, please.
Who did who did Indianapolis hire as their coach? Did they hire one of the coordinators from the Eagles?
The offensive coordinator.
Okay, all right. I'm just trying to. Yeah, they've got to get a quarterback, and it's got to be one of those 2 quarterbacks. I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. Do you agree with C.J. Stroud saying he was the best player in college football? He averaged almost 70% completion, 85 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. I mean, think of that: 85 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 8,100 yards at Ohio State. He was pretty damn good, dude.
C.J. Stroud was fantastic. I do not have a problem with him saying that at all. Just having the confidence in himself, and these are also the ones where this is where it gets difficult, because I'm C.J. Stroud QB1 in this draft.
Because of his size? You like the size and accuracy? You think he's more durable than Bryce Young?
He can make all the throws. I think Bryce Young is exciting. but dude, no one that weight wise, we just haven't seen it yet.
What do you mean?
With Bryce Young. Like it's like Doug Flutie territory, right? Like weight wise,
he's small.
Possibly. Like, and so that's why I'd give CJ Stroud the edge as QB1. But it's also the challenge of like Will Levis is a guy you see him. He's big, he's physical, got a strong arm. If you put him at Ohio State, is he QB1? And so that's what you have to analyze, because everyone will tell you Kentucky, bad offensive line, no skill position players. Give them a chance. And this is the challenge of when you're sitting in those rooms, you're those scouts, you're watching the film, is what's going to separate these guys, because the talent that CJ Stroud and Bryce Young are throwing to, they're NFL players. Well, Levis isn't. And so that's the dynamic of trying to figure out.
He's a sleeper to me in this draft. I think he's the one that I feel I know the least about, is Will Levis.
How he's going to be able to translate when he gets those guys.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. I got a ton of correspondence that I got to get to you here on the Sports Animal today. You're hitting the Sports Animal text line, 505-246-0610. You can come in on the 377 Brewery hotline, 505-246-0610. We're going to hit some Lobo basketball when we get back. What do they have to do tonight specifically to beat Colorado State? Big game. Because otherwise tomorrow you don't have to sit around and watch the Air Force game. Big game, so what do they have to do specifically tonight? We'll get into that when we come back. The year moves along, and it moves along quickly. Here we are in March, going into spring. Some things get left undone. Don't let taking care of you remain undone. Gentlemen, if you're dealing with natural things like fatigue, weight gain, depression, even erectile dysfunction, do yourself a favor and call NuMale. NuMale has helped thousands of men feel better, and they're right here in Albuquerque. They will help you deal with these things. You will feel better. You'll perform better. Do this for you. And men, ladies who are dealing with hair loss, NuMale's your solution as well. The number is 505-652-1688. 505-652-1688 or online at NuMale, NuMale.com. Now, the hair restoration options, this isn't just like one size fits all. They'll walk you through options. State-of-the-art platelet-rich plasma hair therapy that uses your own platelets to stimulate stem cells deep in your hair follicle. This stops hair loss, you regrow hair. They offer you an FDA-cleared clinical hair restoration laser. It's proven to regrow hair. NeoGraft hair transplants, which produce natural-looking results in less than a week, and there's no linear scarring. Men and ladies, give NuMale a call. The number's 505-652-1688. Area code 505-652-1688 or online at NuMale.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your coverage from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
He was a specimen, though, huh? What happened to Byron Matos? Did he play anywhere?
Yes.
Where did he end up? Do you know? I don't remember. He was really good.
I know he did play somewhere.
All right, Lobos are 2-point favorites in Fort Collins tonight. Deutsch says Lobo football, 2-point shock. I think he meant basketball. Just feels like it should be more against a 13-17 club, right? Well, I don't know. Should it be? You feel comfortable laying the 2 with the Lobos tonight? I mean, if you like your team, you should tonight. I think the thing tonight is Colorado State's played well. They beat some people up there. Isaiah Stevens is playing senior night. Lobos have more to gain tonight. This is a big, big, big game for the Lobos. Just, I don't know, to hope that when they watch TV on Saturday.
Just win.
Just win. Yeah.
Like they here we go. Been here, done that. They should beat Colorado State. I'd take the points with New Mexico tonight. I think they'll have a good road performance, similar to what we saw last time out at San Jose State. The Spartans are a better team than Colorado State. And if you're New Mexico, yeah, you'll be watching tomorrow, but just worry about yourself. Get the win and get ready for Las Vegas.
So here's why I'm going to take New Mexico, and I would lay the points tonight. And I don't bet very often, and it's a good thing. I think they're playing well. Well, Jeff, I don't know. I mean, they do you see what? Yeah, they're 2-2 in their last 4. I thought they played well at Boise State. They lost down the stretch on the road. I thought they played well at home against San Diego State. We're up 13 and got beat on a buzzer-beating 3-pointer by a guy who didn't make threes. They played well enough to – they didn't win, but they were toe-to-toe, slug for slug with the best team in the league. I think they're over the last 4 games, to me, they're playing well. And final game headed into the tournament was still something on the line. To me, there's something to play for. And I think they win tonight. Hey, Miriam, I'm having a problem pulling up this assistant producer. Who is that? But that's where I am. Thank you. That's why. I mean, it's nothing more than, they're playing a 13-17 team. It's nothing more than I think they're better than the team they're playing. And I think they're playing well. And that's why I'll take them tonight. And I'll lay the 2 because it's a small number. Where are you, Basic Better? Who you got tonight?
Just Lobos money line.
Money line, straight money line?
Yep.
You don't play with those 2-point spreads, huh?
No.
So
well,
if you're going to take money line, why wouldn't you, like if it's a small spread like that, I mean, you can get beat by 1 point and whatever, but yeah, you just like money line. Okay.
I just like the money line with the Lobos this season.
Okay. What is money line? Do you know?
I did not see it. You just told me the points.
Yeah, that's all right. All right, Terry, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Terry. Yeah, but then he played 2 more years, had a 3-point line, had a shot clock, and he played 2 more years and fell 3 points short. We don't have to buy a tournament to get this guy the record. I mean, I get it, and it's important, and it's now, and it's wow, and the kid's worked hard, and I'm sure he's a good kid. But he played 2 more years and had all the advantages of shot clock and 3-point line, and we got to buy our way into a tournament at 14 and 19 just to get this kid the all-time record? Like please, with all due respect, and I'm sure Antoine Davis is a really nice guy and works his ass off and all those things, and they want to celebrate. But we got to buy our way into a tournament at 14 and 19 to break Pistol Pete's record. It's just, with all those advantages, I mean, please don't. Just please don't.
Yeah, completely like that. And, I love Jerry Palm coming on every week. But when JJ asked him about Bill Self and 17, conference championships, and when he said, well, yeah, he's got a lot of good players, I was kind of screaming at the radio saying, I think that's kind of obvious. He's had a lot of good players. It takes a little more than just that to win. But I love Jerry Palm and all that. But, it's been kind of a special run. He's had the cream of the crop, but he's also taken guys that were recruited small schools and brought them in and turned them around and all that. So from that standpoint, and Jerry Kill saying he was watching Jayhawk basketball the other night. Good for him. Wish that football team the best, so he'll be on my good side for quite a while from that. So you guys have a great weekend. Be safe. Take care. Always love the show.
All right,
Bye.
see you. Jerry Kill was watching Jayhawk basketball. Look, I mean, I don't think that's all that Jerry Palm said about Kansas yesterday, was it? He did say he's had good players. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen a coach be really, really good for 17 years without good players.
No, but it's the run that they're on at Kansas under Bill Self is crazy.
It's beyond crazy.
Because there's a lot of other big-time universities that get good players that don't win
at that clip.
Conference titles at that clip.
It's insane. No, and I don't know the Kansas fan appreciates what they have because, and I, good buddy of mine was a Kansas fan, passed away, but we used to talk Kansas basketball. This is when I knew San Diego State kind of hit the legitimacy line, if that makes any sense. Do you remember years ago, San Diego State went back there and beat them? And I remember him texting me during that game and before, it was a big game. And I'm like, whoa, Kansas fans playing San Diego State, they think that's a big deal? But I remember we used to talk, and Kansas fan always felt to me like, yeah, we're really good, but we're not winning enough national championships. And they always felt that Bill Self wasn't getting them to the promised land enough. I think there was a minute there a couple of years ago where they were, is it time? Like you're at the Calipari stage right now in Kentucky like that, right?
Yeah.
Right? Where you are so good, you are so elite, you are, I mean, I don't know, JJ, if I said, what's the number of elite programs in America right now? And I don't even think you could put Gonzaga there because they haven't won a championship yet, although I think they're of that ilk. But, I mean, when I say Kansas, Kentucky, Duke, Carolina, is there a Big Ten team? Is another Big Ten team?
Because you'd want to say Michigan State.
Yeah, they've kind of disappeared the
like
last few years.
Season,
yeah. But I mean, very few, right? I mean, we're talking a handful.
Bubble-ish this year.
Yeah, we're talking a handful of those elite programs where if you, for Lobos, if you don't get to the tournament, it's a bad year. For those, if you don't get to the Final Four and win it, it's a bad year. I mean, look at UCLA. How many times did Ben Howland get to the Sweet 16? He got 2 Final Fours, right? And they fired him because they weren't winning championships. I mean, that's my point. Yeah. I've always felt that way, Kansas fan, with Bill Self. The Rocky thing was a microcosm here, right? You were winning and going to bowl games. And again, I realize it's totally different. And he can't get us to the next level. So, I mean, we got to move on, right? The Bill Self thing, I mean, that fan base thinks they should win a national championship every year. And okay. But when they don't, especially when they get upset, right? They've been upset a couple of times in the round of 16. they want to lose their mind. Sometimes you don't appreciate what you have until it's gone, right? Bill Self is that guy. I'm going to wrap up the week when we get back. I know we said we'll talk about the Lobos. What do they have to do to win tonight? What do they have to do to win? And it's relatively basic stuff, but I think there's one thing in there that you're going to say, yeah, no, that's right. It's the opening drive at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This is John Marks with the CBS.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at U.S. Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with U.S. Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with U.S. Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports.
Should bet the Lobos tonight. 2-point favorites up in Fort Collins against Colorado State. 9 o'clock over on News Radio KKOB, 8:30 pregame. Robert Portnoy and Hunter Green. All right, so here's what I think Lobos got to do to beat Colorado State tonight. Big game, and here again, what's on the line tonight? If the Lobos can win tonight, they keep their hopes alive for 5th place in the conference, which would mean a first-round bye in next week's conference tournament. If they lose tonight, they will finish 6th. If they win, they have to then hope that that Air Force beats San Jose State tomorrow, and the Lobos can get that bye. So, but first, take care of business. Here's my deal. I mean, it's your basics. I think their bigs have an advantage in this game more than others. I think there's an opportunity for, and I love the way Udeze is playing, and Alec is been good defensively. Rebound the ball. Easy, don't turn the ball over. Those are okay. You probably think you got to stop Isaiah Stevens. Can I tell you, I think the key tonight is not let Tanjay go off, not let their second leading scorer go off. I think Stevens is going to get his tonight. I just do. I prefer he doesn't get 40 tonight, but I think on a senior night, a guy like that who's been so good and been so instrumental for the program, they're going to the game plan is going to be around him. So I harass him, make it difficult for him to get his 22, okay? But I think you got to shut down Tanjay, Rivera, Moore, the other guys that they have, and just say, make someone else beat me, but defend the perimeter. And look, Steven's going to get his, but keep the other guys in check. Shoot the ball relatively well. You get out of there with a win.
Well, this is actually one of the ones in Rich Pitino talked about the first time. They're not going to overly focus on Stevens. Because if he gets his, fantastic. Yeah. As you said, make sure no one else beats you. Because it's Stevens 20 points plus 7 assists. 20 points plus 8-9 assists.
That's his average, man. He's averaging 18 points, 6.5 assists.
Yes, it's that. And then if guys get going, that's when Colorado State's going to get you. So if Stevens gets his averages, you're fine.
As long as someone else doesn't go off. Right? And Tanjay's the guy who I've watched at times can be really impressive. And a guy that I think's just got so much there. He's their second leading scorer. He's their leading rebounder, and he's bouncy. He's aggressive. He's streaky. He can get hot. I think you got an advantage inside, don't you?
Yes, you do.
And so this is one of those where I would run my offense through the post. I would, as good as your perimeter guys are, let them dive down, double team. If not, Morris goes to work. Alec goes to work. And once they start double teaming, it'll free you up for some shots. And Mashburn, the monster of the mid range, takes charge. I think Jamal's gonna have a nice night too. He's 2 games that I don't know. He had a streak broken of scoring in double digits. I don't know. I would tell you subpar, maybe not up to his numbers. But I'd like to see him get back on track tonight going into the conference tournament too.
Yeah, offensively, the Lobos should not have a problem being efficient and putting up points against Colorado State.
All right, we're sitting here Monday. Well, you're sitting in Vegas and I'm sitting here. And you're getting ready for your first round game for the ladies in the quarterfinals. We're talking about the Lobo men playing on Wednesday in the first round game, or we're talking about them in a quarterfinal game in the 4-5 matchup against Utah State?
Wednesday.
So you think San Jose State's going to win in Air Force no matter what?
I'm picking today. I'm leaning San Jose State.
Yeah, I think so too. San Jose State's played really well. And as much as I think the Lobos are better than San Jose State, and I think they've proven that in the 2 head-to-head matchups, right? Mm-hmm. They've gone against San Jose State twice and handled them both times. I would tell you, most people would tell you, New Mexico's better than San Jose State. However, you are what your record says you are. And if the Lobos, if San Jose State wins tomorrow, no matter what happens tonight, San Jose State will finish above New Mexico in the standings. San Jose State's on a 2-game winning streak. They've won 4 of their last 6. In that 4 of those 4 wins, they've got to win over Utah State and over Boise State. Both of those are at home. Now, here's your hope, Lobo fan. Here's your hope in regards to getting an Air Force win. And again, you got to take care of business. On the road, San Jose State has not been great. In league, their only road victory. No, that's not true. They have 2 road victories. Their first road game of the conference season, they won in Fort Collins, where you're playing tomorrow. They beat Colorado State 78-70. And then they won at the Thomas and Mack Center a few weeks ago. They beat UNLV 75-66. Other than that, on the road, they lost by 3 in Boise. They lost by 20 here in the Pit. They lost by 1 in Logan to Utah State. They lost by 21 in San Diego. They lost by 8 in Fresno. They lost by 14 in Nevada. So they're not a great road team. They played well in Logan. They won 2. Senior night. I that's your hope, right? Senior night at the Air Force.
Well, it's
or
Clune.
senior day.
It's hard.
The Clune Gloom. Yeah. But they're okay. So if there are 2 arenas, 2 atmospheres that are somewhat like each other, it would be San Diego State, New Mexico, or New Mexico and Utah State, and then it would be San Jose State and Air Force, right?
Yes.
I mean, if there's 2 low-energy buildings, and you might throw Fresno State in there on occasion, but 2 low-energy gym-feeling buildings, it's those 2. I mean, it's not gonna be like, whoa, we got to go into a dead arena because we always play a damn dead arena.
It's not the energy. It's the style of play.
Mhm.
It's the way Air Force plays basketball.
They rock you to sleep and then backdoor you to death. Yeah.
It's like it's the first 5 lines of the scouting report are backdoor cuts, backdoor cuts, backdoor cuts, and they do it and score, and you're just like,
I knew.
Did you not read the first 5 lines of the scouting report?
Yeah, but I didn't know that was going to be the dude. I didn't. I've never done this, and I always kind of wanted to, and I will one day. Just really dissect game tape of Air Force when they have one of those games, because, and I told you this after Air Force beat New Mexico. Why didn't everybody in America do that? Why don't the guys, like, if you have great athletes, and they don't typically. I mean, they have good athletes, but not the superior athletes on the floor. Why don't the teams with the superior athletes just do that and paper cut you to death like that? Because it's amazing. All right, Todd wants to vent. What month is it, Jeffy? Last night I went to Costco for a Sunday run. Did we go to Costco for a Sunday run? Just to go get the ice cream sundae?
No.
Do you eat at Costco?
Oh, yes. After we drop money, it's a tradition in our household.
What do you get?
We get the hot dog.
The
and
hot dog's
soda.
good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Not a big dessert guy,
beef
though.
hot dog. Yeah, you've never been that. What do you eat at Costco? Because I know you do. Get the pizza?
Pizza.
Yeah. I knew you'd get the pizza. I haven't had a Costco meal in a while, but it used to be the hot dog. Anyway, Todd went there last night to get a sundae. That's what he likes. He said there were lots of coats, gloves, scarves. Did I sleep through spring and summer and wake up right back in December? No, Todd, they got inventory and they're trying to get rid of it. And by the way, there's still snow on the ground at my house. Did you have snow when you got home yesterday? Kind of weird. I was on I-25 going north yesterday afternoon and looked up to the east, and there was like a line, a visible line. Did you see it? And it was almost like, it looked like it was about Wyoming or something, where everything east of that looked white. And there was like literally a visible line at an elevation mark where it had snowed yesterday afternoon. And when I got back up there, and still this morning, there was a decent amount of snow still up there, but there was nothing down here.
Felt like I-25. It's kind of the cutoff line.
Yeah, I think it was higher
in the afternoon because we were eating lunch right beside I-25 and it was snowing.
We're in the same
Whoa.
hood. Yeah, look at that. All right, Monday is spring football game too, right?
Monday night,
spring football. They got a scrimmage today. They're actually having a scrimmage right now for football. So if you want to go out and watch a little football, that's available for you. And then Monday night will be their spring game, the Cherry Silver game here in Albuquerque. So maybe we'll get somebody from football on Monday, maybe with the quarterbacks. Look into that. I think that'll be interesting for you as well. All right, biggest thing you're looking forward to this weekend? Is it college basketball? Is it XFL? Is it the Arnold Palmer? Is it what do you got?
Sports.
Is it that Mavericks?
I'm looking forward to that.
It's been a long time since I kind of looked at an NBA game on the schedule. So I kind of want to take a look
NBA
at that.
guy.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Go Arlington Renegades.
What time's your tea time?
Oh, noon on Sunday.
It's going to be like 60 degrees, dude.
I know.
It's perfect.
I'm so excited.
When's the last time you swung them?
Oh, October.
Yeah, be patient.
Get the rust out. Yeah.
Be patient. It's a hard game, you know.
Why they have birdie juice, Jeff.
I promise that's why they have birdie juice. Steering fluid, aiming fluid, swing lube, they call it.
Make sure I just don't, get all my good shots on the drive.
Enjoy the weekend. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On comes your way at 4 o'clock. We were back with award-winning radio Monday, starting at 7 a.m. Safe travels to you to Vegas. JJ's got Lobo Baseball today. Where can they find you?
Mountain West Network.
Lobo Baseball against St. Bonaventure. JJ Buck will be on the call. Find him on the Mountain West Network. Hey, Marie, have a great, safe weekend.
You too.
Adrian, great work this week as well on the video side. Hope you all are enjoying the television broadcast as well. Be good to each other, please. Have a great, safe weekend. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you on Monday.
Too strong. It's going to be a rebound there by Brown. Brown gets it in. Bucket there by Alter.
Crossover for Jackson. Salas steals the rebound and finds a cutting Mitchell at the rim.
Great move.
It's almost even in the foul territory, and the Cueva looking to take advantage. Said Yates draws the foul, and one opportunity is said, gives the muscles down.
And it's 11-4, 38. Another turnover by Rio Grande. Montoya off the glass, up and in, back-to-back layups for the Demons.
Stolen away again by Valdez. Valdez is going to bring it out.
Valdez has to have around 3 or 4 steals. 3 by Mays.
Bingo! That one rattles in for Alyssa Mays, and the All-District Player of the Year has 12.
Penetrates, no foul call. Rodriguez lines one up and knocks down the 3. First basket of the night.
Back it out.
Look at this deep 3.
Wow! That was from NBA range.
What a steal. Stevison 2-on-1. Gets up. Gets it in.
He doesn't use it. Comes back out to Dominguez, who takes a 3. Boom! There's that man, Superman.
Turns, shoots off. Oh, wow. He made that.
Wow. That was crazy. That was a crazy shot.
Has everybody on him. Now he got open.
Open look for a 3, and that's what he does. A 3 for Denaclaw. His first bucket of the game. And that's a 3, and it'll count at the buzzer.